Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downtown with Downstar. Today we're here with Dr. Moriarity.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man?
How was that? Good?
Yeah.
Bro, thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it, dude. We were just talking about your phone, bro. That's a
It's a fossil, dude. iPhone 8. Yeah.
iPhone 8. You know what I was thinking? Because I still have like the original iPhone. It would probably like malfunction if I started using it now.
Well, the thing is, too, like, I had another iPhone 8, and the battery was at, like, 55% capacity.
Yeah.
So, like, when you charge it in, like, an hour, it was, like, you know, by the second, it would be, like, 99%. It'd be, like, 87%, 75. Like, this is in the matter of, like, 5 seconds. You're like, whoa, dude, like, battery's going quick. And, yeah, just, like, an hour in, your phone's dead.
Yeah.
And then, so I got this one, another iPhone 8, and it's, it's got 65%, so it sometimes lasts all day, but I'm usually, running on 3%.
Yeah,
cool like
I
that.
miss those old phones sometimes, bro. I always keep them around because I have all my old pictures and stuff on them, and I only trust the cloud so much. You know, I like to keep those in like a safe or something, and man, like videos and pictures to me are so valuable. You know,
Man.
I feel like it's a like a time travel, you know?
Oh, dude, I was just scrolling through my whole timeline the other day looking for some random album cover, and I'm passing through every photo back into 2017. So almost 10 years I'm going back. In my head I was thinking, like, I hope this isn't the way you die. You know, if life is flashing before your eye, but now it's on a timeline because we're all in social media.
Yeah.
But I didn't find what I was looking for, but no, I'm the same way, dude. We've traveled the world, me and my family, and I got like 10 SD cards, little, you know, sometimes 124 whatever gigabyte up to like 250.
Yeah.
Nothing real extreme, but I don't erase them. I just fill them up, and then I have like a hard case with all of them. And yeah, that's like, you know, back in the day it used to be like little small tapes because we had like the tape recorders. And then now we got these little cards. The problem with those too, though, is like if you eject it and you don't eject it properly, you could corrupt the whole thing and destroy your SD card. So you're supposed to like usually put it in a trash bin. And a lot of people I know have, you know, their whole family photo album on there, and then it gets like fucking corrupted files, and you're pretty much, you know, SOL. So
Yeah.
you don't want to go cheap on them either.
That's so scary, bro. Man, I had that happen with a podcast, like pretty like a high profile guest I had, and I was so stoked after it was done. I turned it off from recording and like popped out the memory card right after I turned it off. And you have to like let it render for a little while, even after you stop recording. And it was only one file that was bad, and it was like the main camera. And I was like, "Fuck, bro!" But I was able to send it to some website, and they were able to fix the file. I don't know how they did it, but it was like $30.
Some fucking geek shit.
Yeah, super geek shit, dude. I was on the Geek Squad too back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Which one, in Oxnard?
No, I was doing fuck. So Geek Squad was Best Buy.
Yeah.
No, I was doing Staples, which was called something else.
Something.
Same thing.
They all had their era.
People's laptops and fixing them, and you know, usually running a certain antivirus. And
Yeah.
You gotta be tech savvy. And
Did you ever find anything crazy?
not when I was there. I mean, maybe, you know, a little bit of, you know, some dirty stuff.
Got you.
Yeah. But nothing crazy.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Some Hunter Biden shit. Damn, he just lived life, bro. He just said,
I'm thinking so hard of what that name was. It was like Easy something.
That was their thing, like the easy button.
Yeah.
But the Easy Boys, I don't know.
Irrelevant. I'm just happy I'm not there anymore, dude. Yeah.
Same.
I got some random job. I don't know where I was going, and he's like, "Man, if you leave, you're never coming back. We will not." I'm like, "Our peas, dude." Like,
I hope not.
I think it was just Easy Squad or something. I don't know. Something
okay.
stupid.
Gotcha.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? If they're even still, what, Staples?
Yeah.
What's the one right here? It's like Office. It's a relic, bro. You go in there.
Office Depot.
Yeah. Fuck. I feel
Hmm.
bad for them, bro. And everything is overpriced, so I price match everything. Their website is
Well, yeah, I
cheaper.
mean that's the whole thing about the storefront. These days it's like everything is online,
Yeah.
which makes it like, why would I buy it here if I could? But then it's weird. Like you go to Amazon and it's way more expensive than going to Walmart. So because Walmart's got the online, but they got the storefront, and yeah, I'm always looking for that deal, dude. I ain't
So
trying to overpay for it.
it's a weird time right now.
Yeah.
I think we're in the era of um, the car just came out and people just have a bunch of horses and hay, and they're like, what are we going to do with all this hay?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what the hell is going to happen in the next 5 years, dude? With technology just growing every month. Back in the day, like the phone, from 8 to 9, I mean, it wasn't the hugest difference. Now, if you skip a phone for 2 years, this motherfucker's folding already. Like heating up your food. Like, damn, bro, technology's flying, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like the little Amazon stuff. You can like hook up your lights to it. You could hook up like everything. And then they just got in trouble for the Alexa because they were like, listening in and using
Mm-hmm.
your data. So everyone's like, yeah, this Alexa. And then
Yeah.
I've asked Alexa before. I said, Alexa, do you work for the government? And Alexa's like, no, I do not work for the government. You look it up. The Alexa works for the government. She's lying to
Liar,
my face,
liar.
dude.
I'll get in arguments with Chat GPT, dude. I get it because I'll ask it
I'll call
something.
it names and shit. You
Yeah.
fucking suck, you little piece of shit.
I'll go in on it, and he's yeah, everything is yeah, and then I used to pay, it was like $20 a month, and then I canceled it, and then
Yeah.
now they just give me some bullshit ass information, dude. You want the real information, you gotta pay for it.
Nah, dude. For me, I use Grok, which is Tesla's
Okay.
AI, and I use ChatGPT, and I use them for all sorts of things. But as soon as ChatGPT is like, "Yo, you ran out of credit," or like free
Yes.
pay, basically, and I just go log into a different email.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people I know, they buy that premium, but it's like I just come in with the mustache and the sunglasses, and I'm like,
The fake nose.
yeah, and Grok used to be smart enough where they'd say your IP address is actually
Oh.
maxed out, like
Oh
your
shit. Okay.
location.
Yeah.
So then I go into private, and they're like, "Nah, dude, we still know it's you." And
Oh.
now they took that off. But I'll match my Grok to my ChatGPT, and I've noticed that ChatGPT still comes in clutch for certain things. A lot of people talk down on it, but like I use it for my art a lot.
Okay.
And you used to be able to do animation with Grok, but now I use some other one to do like my Canvas videos for like Spotify and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go into Premiere, and then I have to like shape it properly because it's like a vertical, 1080, and so like you're getting the specs right because you can't just like tap into the AI and be like, oh, I want to have a Spotify Canvas size. You got to like size it properly, put it in there, and then what you do is you go put it in Adobe Premiere, and then you're like, all right, the exact specs, the 1920 by 1080
1080,
vertical, and then so it's a long process, and I do charge people for it because it's not something where it's just like I'm typing it in and it's like poof.
Yeah.
And then AI sucks, as you probably know. So it's like I'll type it in 10 times and they'll get it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I'll sign into all these different accounts. And
Yeah.
I keep doing it over and over. And sometimes I come up with really cool stuff. And sometimes it's like, I'll take what I can get. I just did a really good one for Eminem.
Oh,
Something
really?
really cool, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that, bro. I saw that you had a track with Eminem.
Yeah.
Like, how
I
did
got
you get?
two.
How did you get working with him?
So I work with the A&R of Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
And since then, I've gotten like tracks with Future. All Wu-Tang I pretty much worked with except for RZA, and I have just a huge catalog. I've produced a lot for Wu-Tang as well, but things come across all the time. Like I have 2 tracks with Lil Wayne, 2 tracks with Snoop. Most of Eminem's label, Aftermath, I was able to get actual collabs from Royce, Raw Digga, Sweetie McVeigh, Bizarre, D12. I could go on forever. Rock him. I have production from him. I got production from Scott Storch. A big one, Terminology. I have like a bunch of tracks with that. some of my favorite artists, I have like Cool G Rap, Big Twins, Big Daddy Kane, um, Baby Easy E, Spice One, tons of music. Like it just one of the biggest discographies I think I've ever seen, and it's with all the artists that I grew up listening to. DMX, he was the A&R for DMX, so all these things are usually like in estates, and they're really complex. Like you have to have paperwork of the masters, paperwork of the transferring, paperwork of the actual contract, paperwork sign-offs from the artist, paperwork from the estates. So for the past like 2 years, I've been just grinding hardcore, day and night with been fighting with this Kanye track that I got up, and then I had to provide more paperwork, so that's now in processing again. NBA YoungBoy, I put it up, and now I have to reprocess it. So I have another remixed version coming out of called 6-7
Yeah.
with my buddy Ghost Rider, and 50 Cent. I got 2 tracks from him. I got 3 tracks from the game.
So tell me about this, bro. How does that even work? Like, how do you get a track with them? How do you get a verse from them?
So working with the A&R, they have all these master recordings. I would say over 100 artists they're working with.
Okay.
And if I'm working with the direct manager, pretty much I would call them like the person who is getting them not only shows, is getting them features. They have tons and tons of verses that they're just sitting on. So like the Future one, I remember I was like hassling him, and I already spent a ton of money that year because I was printing for Sony, the movie SLC Punk. You ever seen it?
No.
So there's this really big movie that's got a cult following, and we're doing like hundreds and hundreds of jackets, like 100,000 plus in sales. So just jackets, shirts, every single thing they wore in the movies, we were printing it for the following. And they just had this cult following. So I was bringing in sometimes like a few thousand a week, and I was like, I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking. I got 3 kids, I got my family to worry about, and living in California, as you know, it's like just an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the printing, I'm doing the embroidery, the screen printing, I'm doing the design work, I'm doing web design, I'm doing the artwork for us, I'm doing the distribution for my label, I'm doing the mixing, the mastering, the producing.
Damn.
I'm recording it. I'm booking the shows, booking festivals. I've booked stuff with 3-6 Mafia. I've toured with Little Dicky and stuff like that. So in the past, I've been doing all this stuff, and it came down to who should I be working with? My circle's really small. Every circle's really small. You try and work with certain people who are even local, and it's like, good luck, dude.
Yeah.
You just had Surrealist on, so like I grew up with him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
on like my first album.
No way.
And like watching all the things he's doing now is like, oh, that's incredible, dude. I was just watching what you guys posting today with him and King Harris. I don't really care for King Harris, but yeah, Surrealist, he lives and breathes hip hop.
I love it, man. That was my first time meeting him. Another guy that works here, that's his cousin, and he's been telling me about him. And then I looked him up.
His cousin do the filming sometimes too?
Oh, no, a different cousin. Oh. Yeah. Mexicans have hella cousins everywhere. So it's one of those cousins.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, you got to have my cousin on. So I started following him and checking out his shit. I'm like, dude, I fuck with this guy's vibe. And then I had him on the pod. I'm like, yeah, I fuck with this dude, man.
Yeah.
And then I've been tapped in ever since then. And then, yeah, as of yesterday is when King Harris dropped that diss track.
Yeah.
on Surrealist and Enzom, and it's pretty exciting. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I didn't know if Surrealist was even gonna post anything, but man, he dropped a real quick nuke. He dropped a real quick nuke. Yeah. It didn't take 30 minutes, or it didn't take 3 minutes. It was like, a little bit over a minute, and it was a good one, bro.
He never misses, dude. Surrealist is always just knocking stuff out that it's like, yeah, incredible. I got so much, respect for him, and to see him succeeding, dude, that's all I could say for that dude.
No, I love it, bro. Especially he recently just went. He's going full time for it now, and like that's how you got to do it if you want to make that shit. You got to jump out and build a parachute while you're falling.
Yeah, that's I think the hardest thing about all of this is like, I have a track with MF Doom.
Oh, okay.
And are you familiar with his
music?
Yes. So
not super, but I'm I know of him.
I'm one of the biggest MF Doom fans.
Okay.
And when I got his music, I was like, dude, I'm gonna retire. Like, I don't give a fuck about music. All I needed was that on my discography, my catalog, and that's all I care about. Like that's it. And yeah, since then and then I did an Eminem track, and in like 2 weeks it hit like couple 100,000, and then it hit 1 million. And Spotify just hit like 4 million streams. And with the selling music and stuff like that, like I'm not doing tours too much. I'm not doing that many shows or getting paid that way. It's mainly like royalties, and it's not anything to live off of. But yeah, like you were saying, if you can go full time with it, that's like obviously my goal.
Yeah.
Something hardcore is that like when I'm dreaming, I have these like really vivid dreams, and I'm always not really knowing if I'm awake or asleep, because like I have that much of a strong realm that I'm in, and a lot of it's like repeat dreams where I go back and I have tattoos in my dream, which is funny. But a lot of times I'll be performing in front of like a couple 100,000 people, and then it's like I wake up and all I'm trying to do is do music. Like I just want to do that full time. And how cool would it be if you could just figure out the formula? You're like, this works, this pays the bills.
Yeah.
But as you know, like, yeah, I could have 4 jobs, I'm still not making enough to get by. And for hip hop wise too, I know the underground scene, for some artists, it's not the biggest success. They might have a big name, but they might still have to have a job.
For sure.
Like Lil Pump, he just become a blackjack dealer.
Oh, really?
So like music's not always paying off. You gotta have a backup plan.
Yeah, especially for some shit like that. Shout out to Little Pump. Like I fuck with Little Pump, but it's just a lot of that shit is just the flash in the pan. It's a moment in
15
time.
minutes of fame, that spotlight. Yeah.
You got to be able to hold on to it. But did he make freshman cover of XXL? Do you remember that?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm sure he did. He was definitely
had to.
The freshman XXL at one point.
Yeah, that used to mean something back in the day.
Yeah.
Prior to 2020.
I want to say he might even. Nah, it wasn't. The one with Little Dicky.
Mm-hmm.
That one had Designer.
It was the white cover with the blue font on it. Yeah, I could picture it in my head. Yeah, it was Little Dicky.
It's
Designer.
Funny? With Little Dicky, when I got the show offered, it wasn't big yet.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own show now on Fox. I don't know if that's still going, but he came out with animation video with Snoop Dogg. It was like #1 on billboards. And when he hit me up to get on the tour, it was a professional rapper tour, it was like he was a nobody at the time, right? Like no one knew who he was. And all I had to do was basically look into his music, and I'm like, who's this dude checking out dicks in bathroom stalls? And just this corny dude. And I'm like, honestly, the first thought in my head was, if I work with him, I'm gonna like destroy my reputation. People are gonna be like, that's the Little Dicky, dude. He worked with Little Dicky. He's not cool. But it was a paid gig at a place called Velvet Jones, dude. Like almost sold out. It had to have at least 300 plus people, top and bottom story, and somehow my crowd was bigger.
Yeah.
And I was before him. It was just me and him, and place was pretty much sold out. And you can't judge a book by its cover, though. Like that's how you learn real quick. Yeah, you just got to run with music. Music's crazy. I've been hit up by Cool Keith to open for him at the Airliner.
Yeah.
And they hit me up maybe an hour before the show. And they're like, dude, can you come out to LA? I'm like, I'm like an hour away.
Yeah.
I dropped everything, and I already had, my set list close to me because I was doing a lot of shows a few years ago. And it's just like, yeah, hip hop's crazy, dude. You just kind of go with the flow. And back to the music thing of what you were talking about too, like where did all these tracks come from?
Yeah.
One big thing I wanted to mention today was like, dude, you've got to invest in yourself. And that's what I was doing, with like Lil Wayne and Future. Is like I was putting money into it, knowing, man, my discography is going to be good. Like my catalog is going to be good. That's just one little portion of the music. You still have your visuals, you still have your performance, you still have your merch, you still have your website, you still have, do you get on a big major label, do you stay independent? Luckily, we're independent too at Sinister Records, so like we've been doing it for like 12 years, me and my partner with it, his name's Chudy Cali. So we've been together forever, it pretty much seems, of my music career. And it started from just a mini label of like a, collaboration between people and just giving advice and like staying true to a circle, to now it's like, an official business that, he just had some artists on the label. We have female artist Troubles that's a part of it. And where are we going to take it is a big step. I've still been trying to reach out to major labels to see if we can like collaborate. We just did Rock Nation with one of his recent releases.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big thing. It was like, oh, dude, this is Jay-Z's, label. Like, this is huge.
Yeah.
And I got my hopes up on it for my release, and then it worked out for his release. And that's something too. Like, dude, I have like 10 distributions. And I don't know if you're familiar, but you have distribution,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the DSPs. So like, distribution is who you upload it to. Do you upload your podcasts?
Yeah, so right now
Spotify?
Spotify, well, it's to SoundCloud, and then SoundCloud distributes it to iTunes, and
How much is it a month?
like $10 or something like that.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
There's places that are free,
Mm.
but I have like 10.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years, is jumping around different distributions, because I'm like, I got a track with Eminem. I need to release it. I got a track with Kanye. And they're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, here's Kanye's signature. And here's Marshall Mathers, signed off. Here's Drake signed out. I have 2 tracks with Drake that I haven't even released yet.
No fucking
Just sitting
way.
on. And they're like, okay, cool. We'll keep it here. We're going to verify some things. And then I'll go directly to Spotify. So like, most people don't really know how to contact Spotify, but I'm like contacting them. I'm like, here's my UPC. This is the information. And yeah, so for about 2 years, dude, I've just been juggling around distribution, totally in like a writer's block, depression, where I'm like, I'm sitting on this music. I already seen the formula work. I've released some with Eminem. Like right now, I'm about to release a second track with Eminem. I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to, my goal is 1 billion. I hope it hits 10 million. If it hits 100 million, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unheard of. It is unheard of with an independent label. It's not likely, but I know this formula and I know it works. And there's all these little things. Like, I'd say the biggest thing, even for you, which would be important, with that, you should be releasing it, and it should be sitting in Spotify for at least like almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are like, just release as soon as possible. And how that actually doesn't benefit you is it's not going to pitch it to playlists. It's not going to actually send it to all of your followers and all of the people that listen to your music. Or if you have, let's say, a collaboration. So like, if you release it on Spotify, I hope you'd probably take also the people that are coming in for the interview, if they're an artist, and you can tag them. You do that as well?
No.
So if you put me as like a featuring person in the interview, then it's going to go to my audience. If you put me as a primary, it's going to share both of our audiences. There's like this huge algorithm that you're missing, where it could hit in that millions of streams just because of the people you're working with. So you're supposed to do it about a month in advance. You sit in a month because, like, I just released 2 tracks. I released one with NBA Youngboy. I mean, I got one with Nas, AZ, and Nor coming out tomorrow. That one was uploaded like 3 weeks ago. Just around the same time I uploaded NBA Youngboy. That's still sitting and processing. Hasn't even showed up. I then uploaded an Eligh track. You know Eligh from Living Legends?
No.
You know Living Legends?
Yeah, I heard of him.
So Eligh just did a track with me and Tumex for the album. And I'm juggling all of this stuff all together. So like, not only am I doing my album, I'm working on singles, but I only do it every Thursday. Because if you do it on Thursday, Friday is when playlists hit. Mm-hmm. Playlists are going to be release radar. That's what you're really looking for. Release radar sends it to everyone's audience. So like, on these releases that you should be doing, you have the option, who's the primary artist? You probably are putting yourself. Then you need to add another primary artist. You need to say, okay, Dr. Moriarty or Surrealist or whoever's in on your interview that actually has a Spotify. And then when it gets sent out to holding, they'll actually be able to send it to all of our audiences. So if, let's say I have 50,000 monthly listeners, I only have under like 10,000 actually people that are, what would you call them, like followers.
Gotcha.
So there's a difference from followers and monthly listeners. I've had my monthly listeners up to 950,000, but then my followers is like under 10.
Gotcha.
But if you put me as your primary and you as your primary, so it's two primary people, and you give it enough time, then it'll put it to all of my audience.
Even podcasts, like long form stuff?
I'm sure like that's how it works with music,
Got you.
is that it's going to send it to the same type of audience, you
Yeah.
know. I've never checked cuz I've been on podcasts recently too. I haven't checked if it's like this appears on something. I'm sure it's the same
Got it,
exact
got it,
realm.
got it, got it, got it. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
you'd have to do the studying on it.
Interesting.
But like, yeah, so I'm only doing Thursdays now, and if you put like a release immediately, you're gonna miss all of that.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
that's kind of like, yeah, you're just losing numbers at that point.
Crazy,
because you're trying to
bro.
rush it.
Yeah. I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And then you pitch it. Can you pitch your? Do you have a Spotify artist page? You should.
I'm not sure. Damn. Yeah, check it out, bro.
I'm gonna just show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, damn, that's so crazy. I never even thought about that. Yeah, basically.
This is an artist page, so it's different from actual Spotify, but it tells you like everything, your analytics, everything that's going on with your music. So this is like what's upcoming. And so I'm like watching this like a hawk because NBA YoungBoy is about to pop up on it, and then I got to pitch it. And when you pitch it, like right now, NYC is pitched. But
Okay.
as soon as this releases tomorrow, I'm going to go probably do the NBA YoungBoy, which the NBA YoungBoy is supposed to come out before this one. But since the artist is not as much of a watch list, Eligh went out and it went up on Spotify. There was no like verification, but I upload someone like Eminem that could sit for 2 weeks before it just randomly pops up, or like Lil Wayne. I just released 2 tracks with Lil Wayne that was from 2024. I moved over to distributors, and like one went up, then one was like, you got to change your art a little bit, so I changed my art, and so I changed it and then released it, and they both went up, no problem. Yeah, so distribution's crazy, man.
Yeah, you're giving me a lot to think about. So say something like a Lil Wayne. So how do you get the verse?
Yeah.
Like, how do you get a verse from him?
So the A&R,
Okay.
Artist and Repertoire, he manages the artist,
Got you.
and he's got like 100 plus people. And then he's like, I have this verse. Like he just hit me up one day. I was at like some place, some Mediterranean spot, and he's like, hey, do you want to get on a Snoop Dogg and Corrupt track? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, this, and then it comes with a video. Okay, cool. Here you go. Bam. And just pretty much working with the A&R directly, which, I mean, for any artist out there that might benefit, is like, you're trying to go out to the artist, but usually artists too. Like I just talked to Cool Keith the other day, and I was like, let me get a feature. And he's like, well, talk to my manager. And same thing with Brother Lynch. Like I talk to Brother Lynch all the time. You familiar with him?
Yeah.
And so like we're really cool. We've been talking for years. And he has a movie coming out, and I was going to help him with the color editing on it and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I really want to get a feature from him. And he's like, yeah, you can come out to a show. And I've been constantly trying to get on their Halloween show, and no one wanted to like sell tickets with me, which is weird too, because it's like you got to pay to play, you got to sell tickets. But I always think, as far as my discography, my catalog, or like, my whole career, I want this to be a part of it. I grew up listening to Brother Lynch, and all my friends love him. So it's like, shout out to Brother Lynch. You basically can hit up the artist directly, but they might give you some crazy price.
Got you.
And then you go to the A&R, and the A&R has a verse just sitting ready to go. I had this East Coast album. It has Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, and I didn't even know who some of these artists were. And he's like, oh, dude, Conway. You got to get a track from Conway because, him, he was on Eminem's label, and now he's big. And now I follow Conway, and I love his music.
Yeah.
And, that was just one person part of that project that at the time, it's like I had so much stupid money, I could have bought a Lambo. And instead, I went out and I was working with, I was just talking to my buddy the other day, too, and he's like, man, I wish I had some of these artists on my catalog. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't want nothing to do with this. It's like Dewey Cox, walking in on the band and stuff, dude. It's just like, you want nothing to do with this nightmare. You want nothing to do with this legal contracts. You want nothing to do with all of this. Like, I've dealt with so much bullshit, so much uncomfortable moments, and like I said, this 2 years of figuring out distribution, because that's the thing. I move over distributions because one at a time they'll be like, yeah, we're just no longer going to accept this. Or I've been dropped from 3 distributions, lost my whole catalog.
Why was that?
They didn't even give me a reason on the recent one. There was another one where, I'll just talk about the most recent one too. I was like, listen, was it a strike? Like, was someone doing a claim? All they gave me was you are no longer a part of us. They took down my whole catalog, every single thing that was uploaded. I had tracks with Lil Yachty, 2 Chainz, 50 Cent, Kanye, Nas. Huge upload with them, and lost it all. After it took me 2 years to upload it. And now I'm right back again, now that I figured out, the process, what to look for on the right distribution. It's just been like crystal clear. Like, what took me 2 years is now like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I have like certain apps that kind of like get me the information I need to figure out what I'm doing. And it's kind of like, I'm not like gatekeeping at all as far as like what I'm doing. But obviously, I don't want everyone in the world doing my exact process, or it would directly affect me at some point, because these distributions will slowly stop working with these type of contracts that I hold.
Got you.
And that's the hardest part. So they didn't give me a reason. They just dropped me. They said, we don't want to ruin our partnership with Sony. I don't have, a music lawyer or anything like that. I'm not about to go. I have buddies that are, really, really big right now, and they hired some lawyers, and he had a Tyler the Creator track, and I was going to get the same track. I was going to work with Tyler the Creator, and I was like, yeah, this is big. Tyler the Creator, fucking Odd Future. And I'd rather work with Earl, honestly. Yeah. But he got his music taken down. And so, like, a lot of the times when I'm doing music, I just watch how other people are handling it, and I kind of go off of that, too. I'm like, okay, it didn't work for him. I'm not going to try and do that. I'm not going to try and go there. But so the recent one, they just said, hey, just because we have a partner with Sony, we don't want to ruin our partnership, we are no longer going to basically be working with your contracts. They didn't give me a reason of a strike. They didn't say I was doing any violations. They didn't even let me provide my paperwork, which that's crazy, because it's like, dude, I have this sign-off. I have NBA Youngboy's name right here, or Kanye's name right here. They signed it off, like, crystal clear, good as can be. That's the hard part. It's like I'm becoming the lawyer in this fucking legal, troubles, where it's not hurting me as far as like, oh, you now have to go to court, but they're like, your music got taken down. Do you want to fight it? And a lot of the times I'll go fight it on like YouTube and win, because I'm like, here's your contract, like can't argue with that. They're like, okay, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But then with distribution, it's tricky, because at any point they can easily say like, you're gone. Your catalog's gone. We just did a takedown and everything. We don't care about your monthly payments of $11 or whatever. And we don't care that you made a bunch of royalties. And they'll hold your royalties. So I usually cash out on royalties really quick. Like, I've had places like they suspended my account. It's still suspended. Never got figured out. And I think maybe I had like $30.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, but I made, a lot of money with them. So luckily they weren't like, oh, I'm just going to hold all your money, because I just had a place recently, and maybe we did like 30,000 streams, which isn't, dude, Spotify pays out like 0.00067. They're not even cutting you a penny.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come out to much, but I was like, where the hell's my royalties, dude? Like, I'm not no attorney over here, but like, you're holding on to my money. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't wish what I'm doing on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing also, I wanted to mention today, one of the biggest things that I love and appreciate is that constantly, I'm just trying to mute my phone again. I'm going through my phone, and I got people reaching out nonstop, just like, dude, found your music, love your music, huge fan, see you're working with 2Mex is probably one of the biggest things I'm doing right now, that all these people are just flooding in, just like, dude, love everything you're doing. Oh my God, you worked with Eminem. And that's totally cool. People praying, with me and stuff like that. And finding people that are sober out there that are like, dude, your music's helped me and stuff like that. I love what you're doing, love your message, and huge fan. A lot of people that are like, I don't like hip hop, I like your music. Like, I reached out to Gary Busey a while ago. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm on a bunch of Quaaludes and fucking I love your music, dude. I don't like hip hop, but I like this, and that was probably one of the cooler compliments I got. Uh,
Dude,
but yeah,
bro, that's you're giving me so much, dude. I wanted to talk about. So you already mentioned it, like sobriety. So what does sobriety mean to you? Like when did your whole journey start with sobriety?
I would say probably when I started a family.
Okay.
So I've been with my wife and my daughter. Shout out to Elizabeth, love her. Since she was about 6 months,
Okay.
and since then, becoming a dad, I pretty much just stopped partying in general. Like I just became a family guy. My money now goes towards things like dining room tables and like big boy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
gotta buy diapers.
Yeah.
It's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So that was the big turn in my life where it was like I just don't even party anymore. I don't hang out with people who are doing anything, because a lot of times too I was naive. Hip hop comes with some dirty people. You go hang out with them and you're like, why is he moving around like a noodle? And you find out he's twisting a pipe, right before he comes over or something. And I guess he's a meth user, and you're like, oh, dude, I can't associate with these kind of people, or they're even snorting it or whatever. It's just not me.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, dude, like my circle is so small. I know what everyone's doing. I know who they are, like what their lifestyles are, and I can trust them. There's other people that like, are on and off, and you're like, dude, I don't even want to be around it, like, or I don't want to be around when they slip up again, because it's just a pattern that's ugly. But the biggest thing I think I did, honestly, was like I quit drinking about 9 years ago. So
Okay.
it's been 14 years with my wife, but like I was drinking heavy, and she was like, "Oh, you're falling asleep on holidays and shit," and drinking too much.
Yeah.
And I didn't think so, but she didn't like me drinking bottles in the day or whatever. And it got to a point where I was like, dude, Jim Beam bottle ain't fucking getting me drunk. Jack Daniel bottle ain't getting me drunk.
A whole handle?
Just a bottle.
Okay.
And bottles are big though.
It'll take me
handle.
out. Like a little shot will take me out. Yeah.
Handle will probably do it though. But now, like, dude, my house is full of alcohol. All of my wife's friends, like, they like gave her like Grey Goose and all my favorite like Johnny Walker Red. And at any time, dude, I got alcohol all around me, but I have no like desire to drink anymore. And it's like, it's not only for my family. It's not only like knowing that when I drink like a fish. It's just more. I have not one day that I've regretted being sober. A lot of days I regretted being drunk. We used to do like 12 shooters, drink 12 shots at a time.
Yeah.
With SoCo, I remember one time I took 2 in a row, and I was puking like The Exorcist. Like Emily Rose, just like a fire hydrant broken, bro. And it's like, dude, that, pills, all that stupid shit. Nowadays, most of my friends are dead.
Yeah.
And, dude, I see usually my group of friends at funerals, which is scary. But that's the time we're usually getting back together. It's like, oh, another one and another one. Sometimes it's like a week apart. Yeah. Or someone was just telling me the other day, so-and-so passed away. I'm like, dude, I didn't know about this. My wife's like, I told you. I'm like, yeah, I didn't even know. Yeah. The hardest thing to quit was smoking.
Smoking cigarettes or weed?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, cigarettes, yeah, it's like expensive. And what's crazy to think too is like, oh yeah, I'm going to smoke and I'm going to hurt myself. People sometimes smoke and they drink their whole life and they live longer than healthier people who are eating, organs or whatever, doing, beast stuff. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, obviously everyone knows like cigarettes and tobacco give you cancer. Got a ton of chemicals. So why am I paying $12, $15 a pack?
For sure.
For some American spirits, even though every time I smoke it, I'm about to faint and it feels good and I get all lightheaded and I love it.
And it looks cool too.
Yeah, like a cowboy. Growing up, like my dad, he would smoke cartons. So like, dude, we just had cigarettes all around me growing up.
Damn.
And weed though was weird because it was like, I've only been no cigarettes and weed for about 3 years now in December. And when I quit though, I was doing a lot of frequencies. You ever heard of frequencies?
Tell me more.
You got radio frequency, and then you got like an EQ frequency, and then you got a frequency of noise, which have you ever seen like the tuning forks? They hit it, and they're like, so there's something called the 9 Solfeggio for frequencies. and it goes back to like the 1600s with like Buddhist monks, and they were creating these frequencies of sounds of healing. There's also something called the gateway, which, I mean, you could dive into it later on if you ever have too much time on your hand. But you know, it was like a government classified file on basically like astral projection and like out of body and being able to pretty much, they even have in the files of like how God was discovered and like the truth behind, you know, the afterlife. And I have these files on my YouTube with the 9 Solfeggio frequencies. A lot of people will sell this for like $250. I put it on YouTube and I put it for free, and I get a lot of good feedback of people like feeling instantly healed. Think about it. Everything in the world is like numbers. So our body, you know, we take in all this damage of like negativity, all this bad, you know, inspiration out there as far as like people promoting and marketing, and it's just like toxic, you know, as far as like smoke, drink, you know, that's what this hot girl's doing on this sign. You ever seen They Live?
No.
It's like this movie with Roddy Piper where he puts on these glasses, and when he puts on the glasses, that's where the company came up with that Obey.
Got you. Okay.
Where
I've
basically,
seen little clips of it before online, yes.
I've watched that movie like 1,000 times. I love it.
Where they could see like the real.
That's what pretty much this did for me, is it brought the truth out, but it also like reset everything for, I could see it for what it really was. They say the 9 Solfeggio frequencies is a DNA reset. So back to numbers, like even your DNA is a number. So all these toxic things that we were brought up with like even fast food, um, you know, these like pipe dreams that everyone has too, on like, you know, this is what I got to do. I want to be like that. Social media. I've even quit social media for long periods of time after this, because it's like I got totally just focused in on what's the big picture, you know, without psychedelics and without all that. So you listen to these numbers in the correct order, and it starts in like the hundreds, and then it goes up all the way to 900. 900's like a divine frequency, and these 9 frequencies will actually reset your DNA, is what it comes down to in this whole gateway file. And I do it like precise too. I do the tuning. I basically have to level up the ears different, so your mind thinks a little bit harder. And you wouldn't believe it when you listen to it, if you are going in the right state and you're like I didn't believe in chakras. Now I believe hella in chakras, like meditation and like spirituality type of thing. But if you are in the mindset of like, I can accept this, it will put you under like a hypnosis. And in like the matter of a few seconds, you'll just fall asleep listening to it. And your body can basically process these frequencies. I know the second that I figured all this out and woke up the next morning, it felt like, you know, they call it like basically being reborn. Like I felt like I was a kid. Like all the toxic things that have come into my life and that have like destroyed, you know, my thought process or my addictions or even fast food. You wouldn't believe it, dude. I started eating vegetables, juicing hardcore, like things like ginger and turmeric were like, man, like I just need this. Like my body needs like this vegetable state of like health. And dude, just so much started changing. I started making beats at that time, and I was making like a beat every morning, waking up super early, jumping out of bed. I just stopped smoking out of nowhere, just cold turkey. Was like, I don't need smoking anymore. What am I doing? And I would be making a beat before I go to work. I wake up at like 4 a.m, and I'm doing all of this before. By the time I get into work, I already have a track being uploaded to go up to Spotify. And so if you like check out my catalog, a lot of stuff is just frequencies. And we do athletic frequencies, stuff that's just like made for training before games. If you look into a lot of sports players, this is like the new mindset of meditation before you go in to basically, you know, grabbing the bull by the horns.
So this is on your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
And it's a video or what?
Yeah, it's called 9 Solfeggio frequencies.
You're gonna have to spell that for me, bro. 9 Sev.
Solfeggio. SOLFEGGIO.
Got it. And then what's the channel that it's under?
Alexander Moriarty. I just hit 100,000 subscribers. I'm gonna send you the video. to me, it's super
Oh, okay.
important. And if anyone's ever like worried about addiction or anything like that, I'm no therapist or like, I'm no doctor or like super
You're
healer.
a doctor. You are a doctor.
I play one on
All
TV.
right.
Um,
Alex Moore. Okay, got it.
but
What the hell, bro?
the whole thing is that like I recommend testing it out, and you really have to like have the thought process that it works. It's kind of like when you watch people get hypnotized,
Yeah.
and you're like, "There's no way that's fucking real."
Yeah.
But I believe some people do get hypnotized, and it actually does work for them, and they become under like a hypnosis.
This is what I be fucking with.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
So that, guys, is if you go to Spotify, just 432 HZ, so 432 hertz, deep sleep, bro. When I'm like tripping, I throw that shit on, dude, and just chill out. Or gotta like meditate. A lot of time I'll come up here and meditate. The day's just going crazy. I'm like, bro, I gotta go upstairs and meditate. Just, I won't put on anything. Just sit, Indian style, hands on the knees.
So the 432 is a part of it. If you check it out, I wrote down basically
I just subbed. I'm gonna dive in because you're talking my language right here, bro.
So the 174 relieves pain.
Okay.
Then you have 285 that heals tissue and organs, and this is all in like the gateway. So this is like a government classified document that was just released. Now they're releasing alien shit too, while they're talking about so much crazier things like the Epstein files, and no one cares about it because there's all this news like Taylor Swift just got married. So people are like, aliens, what? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That.
Yeah, Taylor Swift just got married from Adam Sandler. 396 eliminates fear. I did that too. What's weird is that,
let me take a picture of that real quick, please, bro.
yeah, I'm gonna literally send it to you.
Okay.
And it's in the description.
Okay,
I'm
please.
just going over it, but like my whole nail came off from my finger, and it got like jammed or something. And thinking about how it could possibly eliminate fear, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Fly, but the guy like takes off all his fingernails.
No, fuck.
And you're like, that's disgusting. But like, I tore off my whole fingernail, no fear at all, bro. And the first thing that clicked in my head, I was like, I have no fear. Like, I'm fucking razor sharp focused on just living in the now type of thing, that nothing really bothers me. Like, even pain, I didn't even think about it. It was just like, usually I'd be like, oh, fuck. But that wasn't the case. And
wait, did you take it off for fun? Or you have
no, I like jammed my finger. The whole thing was dead.
Okay, got it.
And I literally just tore it off, like with no thought, no fear. I did that also for my daughter who used to cry a lot. She stopped crying after it.
After she was listening to it?
I literally just put on the fear part and was like, hopefully this helps. And then after that, she just stopped crying.
That's crazy, bro. You're fucking me up right now.
Okay, so then the next one's wipe out negativity, and you got to do them for 10 minutes at a time.
Okay.
That's what's weird is about these frequencies, and you got to also be careful of what you listen to online, because you can get a tuner on your phone for free, and you can actually go and scan
if
the
it's
frequency,
the real frequency,
and they might not. So that's the thing. I put it in my software, put it in the tuner, and then I even have tuning forks. The tuning forks were slightly off, but then you can mess with the pitch. You can take the pitch, and you can actually put it to the right frequency.
So how close are the videos that you
100%,
have?
100%.
Interesting.
So
okay.
Wipes out negativity is 417, and then 528 repairs DNA, brings positive transformation and miracles. That's probably one of the craziest ones. I'll listen to this one sometimes, and I just put it up in the universe. I mean, it happened crazy recently with this Eligh music. I was trying to get a hold of Eligh, talk about miracles. His messenger was turned off, and it was like I couldn't even get a hold of him. And I'm like, dude, I got to get him on this Tumex album. Tumex toured with Living Legends. Living Legends is one of my favorite groups of all time growing up. They have music that just speaks to you, that you sing along with, that you're in love with, and they've inspired me so much. And all the members all together are just one of a kind. So I reached out to Eligh, I couldn't get a hold of him, and then randomly I'm at the park one day and I'm like scrolling through messages, and it's like Eligh posted his phone number and email, and he's like, reach out if you want to work. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, this is what I was asking for. I was putting it into the universe and was like, I want this.
Fuck.
So he hits me up and he's like, let's work. I'm down. Love it. This is where it gets even crazier. So now I'm like, okay, I've been answered what I wanted, right? I'm working with Eligh. That's crazy. Then we make the song, and I'm telling myself, as soon as I mix and master it, and I send it to him, I didn't want to send it to him because I'm like perfectionist, and I've been doing it like 20 years, but he's been doing it 30 years. So I'm like, dude, I gotta. Even my artwork, I was like so hesitant when I finally sent him the artwork. He was like, dude, I love it, and he probably would have said that about the other 4 I made.
Yeah.
But I was like, really, I was sending it to all my group and my people, and I was like, dude, what do you think? You think this is dope? And they're like, go with your instinct. My instinct is saying, come up with something better, because Eli's an artist. I don't want him to say, dude, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I don't want my name on that. Send him my mixing and mastering, and the next morning he hits me up, and I'm telling myself in the universe, I'm just like, dude, I wish I could just have a professional person mix and master this. My music is always good. It's to the point now, you go back 5 years ago, I always found defects. Now I'm just jamming on my music. I blast my music all the time. I'm loving it. Like, I'm singing along to it. I get the chills, and I'm like, obviously other people are getting chills, unless that's just more of an ego, personal thing. But it's for me anyways, so whatever. Like, I'm making music that I know is my best, my best work yet. And so I'm putting it on the universe. I'm like, dude, I wish a professional would just mix and master this. Like, I wish this music that I know is my best music yet is going to sound to its fullest potential. And he hit me up like, dude, in the next hour, maybe a few minutes even, and he's like, hey, you want me to mix and master it? He's like, I'll mix and master it, just because it sounds like the voices could be a little bit better. And I'm like, bro, here's all the stems. Do your magic. I would love. And Scarab just sent me his verse. His verse was like flawless. Sunspot Jones is getting on that one. And that's by Scott Storch. I don't know if you're familiar with Scott Storch. Mm-hmm. And then Picasso, he just mixed and mastered one, sent it over to me. So, like, dude, this album's just coming out. Definitely, like, I was saying, oh, dude, I work with MF Doom. I could retire now. But, like, this Living Legends album, once this releases and the world has it, I already know that what's supposed to happen is going to happen. And all these opportunities have already becoming, straight, just clear. I got to go over these frequencies with you, though, just to finish up. So, positive transformation, another weird coincidence. I'll put on this frequency, and like I'll put something out in the universe. Like, I've had just weird things where I'm like, dude, I need this to happen. Do this. 5 minutes later, boom, it happens. And I'm like, okay, that's too coincidental, dude. Like, that's way too close to home, and like too much for comfort, dude.
For sure.
Like, where I'm uncomfortable thinking, dude, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm like altering my reality of this somehow working. And some people have told me, oh, dude, well, like, don't get obsessive over it, because then your whole life's going to change. And that was a big thing in the gateway process, where the guy who was doing the testing, he was saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fearing for my life that I'm going to go into a direction that I cannot come out of, which is pretty much like in a dimensional world that didn't exist prior, that now I'm going to be in there instead of where I am now.
Got you too far away from where he started at.
Yeah, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But a big thing is, like, you're creating, have you ever heard, like, the world is just millions of dimensions?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in another world, I didn't show up today.
Yes.
In another world, I called and I told you I'm going to be 2 hours late. In another world, we had this podcast and didn't talk anything about this. So the thought that I have behind him not wanting to continue it over being scared of the process is that it would become obsessive, almost like, and I've tried to steer away from it, where I'm not like, dude, I got to listen to it every morning. It's not like that. But when I'm going through like a tough time, I'll put this on, or even pain, or trying to basically focus and hime in on something. That's the whole weird part about it, is that, like, yeah, they kept files out of it, and the files that were not released, that were then later released, like, I have the direct link to those in this, which is all really important. It's a long thing that they even make YouTube shorts on the gateway process. But they basically our government used it to spy on, like, Russians, to, like, astral project and figure out the future. You ever do, like, deja vu?
Mm-hmm.
Are you heavy with deja vu, where, like, you come into a point that you dreamed of, you dream it, yeah?
I don't know. It wasn't from a dream. I just get the feeling that I've been here, or I've done this before.
That's the big thing on deja vu, where sometimes people claim that it's because of a past life.
Uh-huh.
Like, your past life is already seen, or you already know your future, and that's kind of just like, getting twined in. For me, I dream it. And then when I dream it, I maybe a month. I even have like I talked to a dream like doctor about this, and they were saying that I hit basically like a fifth dimensional realm where I'm dreaming so heavy that sometimes I will dream like years of information that gets thrown into me all in one dream, and it feels like I just uploaded like a few terabytes of information. Like my brain hurts. I see it all in my head while I'm sleeping. My wife's always telling me too. My eyes are like moving back and forth, like this weird, REM sleep. But yeah, it's this vivid and lucid dreaming that I hit this deja vu. But it's not just deja vu. It's like I know what's gonna happen for the next like 5 years, and like little events will happen, and I know it came just from that dream,
Mm.
which is really weird. It's like I know from that one dream that this memory is coming, and then I do this weird thing where I know that what that dream projected is about to happen, so I have all this control of like, okay, well, what am I going to do with it? I could make this not happen. I could make this deja vu like not even occur by switching up on how I'm going to go into this conversation. I can stop it, I can pause it, I can do all these things to basically manipulate my timeline, which is almost like a prophet.
You know what? Like, speaking of deja vu, whenever I get something that feels like deja vu, or it's like very, very familiar, like I've been here, I will do something completely off the wall to change the trajectory,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
because I don't I don't remember exactly the outcome from whatever this deja vu happened or whatever it was, and I'm kind of afraid that if I don't do something differently, that it could stay on that path, which could be whatever. I don't know if it was a good path or a bad
Maybe it's
path.
warning you. Maybe it's warning you. Okay, so positive transformation miracles. Now the 639 hertz brings love and compassion. 741 detoxifies cells and organs. 852 awakens intuition, raises energy and cellular level. And 963 connects with higher self, God, stimulates the pineal gland,
Okay.
pineal gland,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say, your third eye. And yeah, I would say I've never been more connected to this universe as possible. Like I did a lot of research on DMT. You're familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Dimethyltryptamine.
Yes.
I read the book on it. I was even making it for a while.
So you've obviously done it.
Bro, I remember one time I had way too much DMT. I'm talking about like too much you could ever need. And you get that from your actual spine.
Mm-hmm.
Your spinal fluid is your DMT too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know your body produces DMT. I don't know where
so,
at though.
so it's in your spine.
Okay.
And it also goes up to your brain. Dog's hair has it. Grass has it. It's in like barks. You can extract it from barks and stuff. I remember I once smoked a good amount, and I was up in space, dude, in this spaceship, this mothership, which I actually have a picture of. I rebuilt the mothership, but I was
From
on,
memory?
yeah, I was on a floor that was moving, so it was like an escalator floor, and all the windows were see through, and everyone on DMT, they always say they see like a titty room, so like you see this room with like a bunch of naked girls in it. You're like, that's cool. And it keeps going and it's moving around. And there's this aura in the middle of the spaceship shooting up in the center. It was like about 3 levels high. And I was like on the second level going through basically just this motion. Now, this is where it got really weird is that, my eyes are closed. You're supposed to be in a pitch black room. And by this time, I have a mechanical arm grabbing me and bringing me down, and my roof opens up. I get put, and I see my roof open up, but I'm out of body. So I'm like watching from a bird's eye
Mm-hmm.
of like a different being almost, myself coming down, roof opening up, closes, putting me in my bed, and that's when I knew that trip was over.
And then you just woke up.
Well, I mean, I
Or
wasn't
what?
asleep. This is what I'm visually seeing. You don't fall asleep.
Okay.
But DMT is what you produce when you sleep.
Yeah.
You're aware of that?
No.
When you're sleeping, your DMT is what's creating dreams.
Got you.
So that's another thing I have a big fear of, is that my dreams are so vivid that I don't know if I'm awake or asleep. And
Top, dude.
with that, they say your life flashes before your eyes when you die. So all your DMT will be released.
Yeah.
So my fear is that I will end up in one of those dreams, which usually are pretty fucking crazy. Like, it's like, a movie you could never imagine.
Mm-hmm.
The trippiest thing you could ever imagine. Like, dreams are just weird, bro. And I don't want to be stuck in that. Even though, like, sometimes my wife's in there. Like, hopefully my kids are going to be there. Like, if that's the afterlife, I don't want to be stuck not with my family. And that's why I think sometimes religion is super important, because, that's what they're believing in. That's what they're putting in the universe. That they're going to end up, up in the clouds and with their family, and their grandma's waiting for them.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine being stuck in that fucking dream.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there, because that life is fucking crazy. I have tattoos. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know which dream I'm going to end up in. And yeah, like dreaming, dude, it's just out of control. And I feel like since I've done this whole frequency thing, though, it's like I've been manifestation on steroids. So, like, everything that I could have imagined has happened. And not only has it happened, but it's become even something that's more powerful. Like, yeah, like, I'm trying to put out the world, I want to work with MF Doom. It's like that, not just that. Okay, here's Eminem, here's another track, here's a Drake track, here's a Future track, here's, 50 Cent, here's a second 50 Cent track, here's 3 Game tracks, like, here's 2 Lil Wayne tracks, Snoop Dogg tracks. All of this is coming in, and like I said, I could have went and bought a Lamborghini, or my wife, I could have taken her, around the world again.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm trying to put this money into my dream. Because music's like a pipe dream, dude. Like, as far as if you're going to make it, they say 1 out of 1,000,000 people are going to make it. So, like, in 805, I would say Anderson .Paak made it.
Yes. Yeah.
He was the 1 out of 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Madlib made it, but he's an underground artist.
Yeah.
And, as far as, like, it's not a competition at all in music. And something I follow a lot is just, like, looking into what your music becomes is pretty much like a personal journal. You're not making it for the media. We're not making it for labels. We're not making it for people being able to sell it. We're just making like this quick little entry of what we're going through at that specific time that we think is personal enough to. It's like poetry.
Yeah.
Poetry doesn't have to make sense to everyone, but I believe it's Rick Rubin. Are you familiar with him?
Mm-hmm.
Who worked with like Beastie Boys? He was pointing that out, that music these days, when it's with a label, they're trying to bring it out to the mass of the world, compared to like really what it is it's a personal experience that only you got to really care about if you like. And success doesn't come off of that, of streams and sales. Stress, the ultimate part of success, it would be you being able to just do it. You could, in a different world, you could just never have attempted any of it and just given up. Like a lot of my friends that are like, "Are you still doing music?" It's like, dude, of course I'm still doing music.
Yeah.
I just did an album, or I'm working on a Wu-Tang album right now. What are you talking about? Like, I didn't stop the dream, but a lot of people stop and they give up, and that's where like the success is no longer even an option.
So what do you think that is? So this aspect that you're in, this is manifesting. This is a whole different level. What do you consider something like that? Would you consider this good, evil, like God, the devil? Like how do you, like, different paths? How do you quantify it, all of that? Your friends that just didn't continue. Like, I think it's deeper than just they just got lazy and didn't want to do it. Like,
I've inspired a lot of my friends too. Like, when they saw success, they were like, "I'm making music again. Like, my wife hates me now. I'm down in my basement and I'm making albums." And so I'm like, "Cool, dude. Good for you." I think really, like, it's a spiritual part where you're connecting more with the world.
mm-hmm.
And it's not like, dude, if I wanted, I could focus only on my family, do my 9 to 5, and like leave it at that. And a lot of people do that. And they're like, "Well, I just got to take care of my kid. I stopped doing music." I got a lot of friends that stopped doing music completely. I hit them up and they're like, "Yeah, dude, I don't do it. I found God."
Yeah.
And whatever they did, it usually revolves around a family. And that, for me, like, my vision is brought to life, not only like what's going on now, but my goal is to hit arenas like stadiums and not just bars, which I've been in, or clubs with like a few hundred people. I want tens of thousands of people. Like I want to be the next Taylor Swift, but in hip hop.
Got you.
As a man. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the biggest artist, and that's the mindset too. You need as an artist that I'm the best, dude.
Yeah.
This music, like that's why I got into music too, is because I don't know if you know, but I have the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest freestyle rap.
I saw that.
So it's 248 songs, 13 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
So you're just
freestyling the whole time, nonstop, just fucking. And I used to do it for fun. Like I'd be working. I worked in a casino for a while. We were in the kitchen, and we just put on beats, and I'd be rapping the whole time, like out loud.
Just verses or actual freestyle?
Freestyle for hours. I'd go to my friend's house. We do it for 4 or 5 hours at a time. So then my dad's like, "Yeah, dude, did you know it's a world record?" And I was like, "I could beat it. Whatever it is, I could beat it." The only reason I stop is because I want to stop. I don't stop because I'm like, I ran out of words. And that whole thing, as far as getting in the Guinness World Record, like that's the mind state, I have and create is like, I have to have this music out. I know this is the best thing I've ever heard. And there's nothing better in the world than what I just created. And everything I'm doing is like, this is the best song of my friend's like, dude, you say that every time. This is your best song. I'm like, no, this is my next best song. Like I'm one-upping myself every time. But I'm at that level now. Like I said, I don't have any regrets in my music. Now I just vibe out with it. And I have a lot of people coming in that are giving me support and that are like, dude, I love your music too. Thank you so much. I'm so happy I found this. Keep doing what you're doing. A huge amount of people coming through with that. I mean, my bigger goal would be in a stadium, everyone's singing my music. You see that and you're like, that's what I want. And I don't try and be like jealous or be, oh, I want to be like that person. But I want that feeling where I connect with so many people. Have you ever heard of the Abraham Messiah effect?
Mm-mm.
It's this effect where you basically feel tall or feel really small. And you create basically like almost an uncomfortable moment. You don't need to be on any drugs or hallucinating at all. It's just more of like this feeling. Usually it happens when you hit epiphanies and you hit really big like breakthroughs and your mind has just like basically gone to that next level. You've never felt like feeling like you're really, really big or really small or like your body is almost transforming while you're just staying steady?
Yeah, I'm going through something right now, which it's really crazy that we're even having this whole conversation and that you're on the podcast and that like all of this is happening. I don't know what it is, but I'm there. I'm justifying it as they turned CERN off, and that's
CERN's crazy, right? Do you see what they're doing right now? They're upgrading it to make it even bigger.
Yeah. So we got, what do they say? We got 4 years to fucking get right.
2030 before it's possibly over, or we're hitting another galaxy.
I'm going through something, bro. I don't know what it is. I feel it, and I feel the power, and I'm able to read the signs, and these signs that I read, these directions are given to me from somebody, something, some entity. I don't know. My mom recently passed away in April.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you, bro. And I feel like she's throwing me these signs.
I was just getting the chills thinking about that. I don't want to cut you off, but do you see her in your dreams?
No, I don't.
I just saw my grandpa the other day in my dream while I was hacking Britney Spears' Jamba Juice account so I could get some turmeric and ginger added in my drinks, but my grandpa owned it, and then I was thinking, how am I going to get away with them thinking I'm Britney Spears's her agent or her assistant? And then my dad's like, but you said grandpa owned Jamba Juice, couldn't you just get the Jamba Juice? I'm like, no, I was trying to get it cheaper. And I got into Britney Spears' account, but I had to figure it out. But my grandpa was in my dream, and my grandpa just passed away. And a lot of my friends are dead, like a lot of close friends, and they're always in my dreams. And me and my dad were just talking about it, that it's like, it's almost like they're still there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, a buddy of mine just passed, and he was in my dream recently. And the only thing that happened in the dream is he's like, hey, how's it going? And it was almost like, I'm still here. I'm just checking in on you. And my buddy, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but my buddy just pops into my head sometimes, just randomly when I'm doing something where I'm thinking he would be proud. Like, this is big, you know. I wish he was here to see it, but I know he's still here. And that's a weird thing that, like, we don't know what happens when we die.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, entities and people, kind of guiding you through, paths. And it's like, I don't know what the frequencies are. I do know that you talk to someone who's really religious and they're like, that's the devil.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't mess with frequencies because you can only obey God. But I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
At least I married a Jewish woman, and her dad's Jewish, but her mom's not Jewish. So technically she's not Jewish, but she's from Israel. Jews got like thousands of laws anyways. But they don't believe in a heaven or a hell. They believe our life is heaven or hell in different levels. So if you're homeless, basically struggling on the street, you could be at that hell. But then you could be at a certain level where you're content and happy with everything, and you're in that heaven. So yeah, I'm sorry, everything you're going through.
No worries.
I hope that you find some type of, relief. And
It's not even a bad thing. I'm just not sure what it is, but I know that I have faith and confidence that whatever path I'm being led down is going to be beneficial, and it's going to help me get to my next stage in life. I would worry about finances a lot, and having a business. There's a lot of variables, as you would know, and I would stress about it. But then I got to a point where I was just thinking, like, every time it's always worked out, no matter what it is.
And I'm sure, I don't know if you're the same way, but for me, I think pessimistically. So I'm thinking of every worst case scenario before it even happens. Some really good advice I got from one of my buddies who does a lot of meditation, cold plunging every morning, which is like super beneficial.
Yeah.
Some people say, but he said, if you're worried about the future, you have anxiety. You're worried about your past, and you have stress. But the present is like complete peace.
Yeah.
So I worry about all these things all the time, and I've been trying to just stay in the moment. But it's like we can plan out, and I do it all the time because I'm like overthinking things and trying to like figure out like, okay, what are all the different scenarios so I can be prepared for them. But it's like it always works out, and it's always working out. I'm just not calm enough to just pretty much just relax and enjoy,
Yeah.
for what it is right now. And man, for business and money, like, business is hard.
Yeah.
This is one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with. I closed my business for Worldwide Medias because my tax person kept telling me, he's like, dude, you're not a business. Looking at your records here and checking out, your actual numbers, this is not looking good.
Yeah.
And I put everything I had and more into my business. I've gotten into running a whole embroidery system in my garage, which was like epic fail. Leave it to the professionals. They got like a 10 head, system where they're running 10 hats at once and not worrying about, the machine. Because I worked at an embroidery shop for almost a year plus and learned a lot. But leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
With printing, I started screen printing. Took over years of my life, learning all these different things, making the art for it, making the screens, burning them, cleaning them. Sold all my equipment to this dude that was like really cool. He bought it and then asked me if I could go work for him with the equipment to print his stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of screwed me over in the end because I was basically getting underpaid now for what I could have charged per shirt or per hat. Because he's like, I'll pay you hourly. I already have the equipment. Can you just come, knock it out? We agreed on something that was worth my time. But the thing that got my business out is that everything I'm doing right now, it's like I'm content with that. I don't need to. Someone that was in union the other day was like, dude, I want to give you work. Can you come do it? I said, I don't do that anymore, dude. You couldn't pay me enough. Like, I've worked with billion-dollar businesses. Hoka, they're paying me like $50 an hour, sometimes a few $1,000s a paycheck on just doing some design work. You couldn't pay me enough for me to drop my family, my kids, my life that I'm in right now that I can only enjoy for so long because I got a 14-year-old, but then I got a 3 and a 4. So I know that process, growing up so fast, you don't want to miss it. And there's no price in the world that could really like put a price tag on that, because they grow up too fast. And by the time they're too old, it's like they don't want to hang out with you anymore. I got my kids, I would go in the house and they're like, luckily I work and I get off at 4 and they're running in. They're like, giving me hugs and I missed you. I love you. And, you hang out with them and they're like, oh, this is so much fun. Thank you so much. And these are priceless times that I'm like, I don't want to be working on a screen printing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing design work for mumbo jumbo jabronis.
Yeah.
Fuck that. There's no price tag that I could put on my family. And the thing though that got me out of my business, it wasn't my accountant that was like, bro, this ain't business. Because I made good money that year, but then I also put in a ton of money. We were doing a lot of it overseas, so I was dealing with like Pakistan. Pakistan's dirt cheap, so I was getting jackets made for really good pricing. So there was enough meat on the bone for everyone. And they were basically holding my stuff hostage. And after I sold the jackets to people, put in a pre-order, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to go to my Pakistan to get it custom made. And then they would basically hold it, and they would say, oh, we're not going to ship it unless you give us more money. I believe it's called extortion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck going to Pakistan. But basically, they were like, the shipping's more. There's nothing we can do. Well, I can't go back to my customers and say I need more money. So a lot of these jobs ended up that way, where we got a ton of jackets made, and now I got to pay an extra $800 out of pocket, because I had the SLC Punk director working with me on it. He owned the IP on it, so he was providing the fan base. So he was basically the advertiser. I can't go to him and say, dude, we're out $800. I need $400 from you, and I'll put it $400. No, I put it out of pocket, and that happened a few times where we were doing jobs, and it's like, hey, shipping's like an extra $400. Is I could imagine Pakistan. They're like, fuck these Americans. Yeah. They're like, dude, we'll just make them pay, and they got enough money. We don't give a fuck about them. And for me, I'm like, every dime, every penny counts. So I think maybe 3 or 4 times that happened with a year plus of working with them. And I was like, dude, I can't lose money, and it also came out to I didn't have the right type of business. So I hope you have the right one, which would I think be a C Corp. Compared to a sole proprietor. But a sole proprietor, you're pretty much saying, I'm doing a job, and I got to make sure I have enough money that's paying me for my hourly, but I'm also going to sell a job that I have to be in the market cost. So if you got to be in that market, and now there's not enough meat on the bone for you to even get paid for your hourly, it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because I was working, dude, 40, 80 hours a week sometimes on this kind of stuff, where it's like, if I'm not paid for my time, how is this going to work out? And I'm talking about like night and day, dude, just doing stuff for, embroidery and drawing up the sketches, doing the drop ship, shipping out hundreds and hundreds of orders, like sometimes 400 or 500 at a time. And I've done a lot of businesses too, where I've worked with companies that do 100,000 in a week. And then like another 200,000 on Amazon. The 100,000 was from eBay. And I built their website. It was 80,000 pages. So
God damn.
Custom coded it. It was every single survival, every knife company out there, all the survival equipment, all on one website. That was the wholesaler. And we had to have resale and wholesale prices. And I spent like 6 months, good like maybe $60,000, and built them an 80,000 page website. And I saw how all that worked, and I put that into different businesses, helped different businesses grow and market it, to basically get, on Amazon, start doing the Amazon fulfillment and stuff like that, which is, bro, talk about mazes and just complex shit. I'm talking about the craziest coding and you've ever seen in your life, matrix stuff that's just like, where am I?
Yeah.
Drawing maps, you ain't going to get back like the back rooms. And just crazy stuff where, yeah, I've helped out tons of business, but for myself, I just couldn't be paying out of a pocket or losing money for my kids when I knew what I was doing now. Not my music. My music was paying off. I'm working full time where I can actually, and that's union. I can provide and I can make it work where I am. And it's like, bro, you couldn't pay me enough to fucking go do design work for you. I don't want to listen to nobody. I don't want to be hanging out with you all day doing screen printing. I don't want to be cleaning screens, fixing your embroidery machine, talking to Taiwan or China, trying to figure it out. Like, no, dude, there's professionals that you can just send it to. And that's what I told him. I said, dude, I sell myself out of work all the time. Like, nah, dude, I got a number. Call him.
Yeah.
Like, I'll sell myself out of jobs many times, but then there's people who I've been working with forever that I'm like, oh yeah, I can help you out on something super small, but I don't have a business anymore.
Yeah.
And that was the main thing, is I couldn't pay myself for my time. When you have a certain type of business license, I believe it's the C Corp or something like that, but you can actually pay yourself as an employee.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was like super important. And there's also been, you could like pay your kids and set up, like
Yeah.
accounts and stuff like that. So I was doing it wrong, and I didn't know what I was doing, dude. I was just out of high school as a graphic designer, and I was working on this print shop for 4 years doing stuff with Starbucks. Started out with Toyota, Ford, Land Rover, Disney Plus, Los Angeles Times, Glow Gang. We were doing stuff for Rakim. All of his printed merch, Wu-Tang Clan, doing all this crazy stuff. And that's just the small part of it. Warner Brothers, Sony, every
Damn.
company you could imagine I was printing for. And I had all these clients, and I still have them with contact. But it got to a point where it was just like, no, I don't want to just do this job anymore. I can do one thing and one thing only, and not be working 24 hours a day, pulling out my hair trying to make things work. Because that's the hardest thing, is like, how can I live my personal life and still work? Lucky people are retired, and we don't get that till we're like 65 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I tried to retire, that's still not working.
Yeah.
Writing a bunch of stand-up, still haven't done stand-up. Writing books, still haven't released them. And doing all this stuff, and it's just like, yeah, you got to focus on the now, because that's really what's important. Everything else is kind of just like noise, to kind of take your focus away. I hate when people are comparing themselves to others. Oh, well, this person has this, and, I hear that all the time, and I'm thinking, I don't compare myself to anyone. I'm just trying to live my best life. I'll make myself laugh if no one else is happy in the room. I'll be happy because I know that a life sad isn't a good life to be in.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to take your energy, and like, I had a friend tell me the other day, man, dude, I love talking to you because you're always so upbeat and happy, and like, it motivates me, and you're always, positive. And it's like, well, yeah, I got a lot of negative friends too, but like, I don't let them zap me or fucking, kill my energy. I drop most of my friends who are negative, and I've had a lot where it's like, they got power trips, they got Napoleon syndrome, or they're like always trying to take control, freaking out, being embarrassing around other people. And it's like, yeah, I surround yourself with good people,
When did you start this whole journey?
as far as like dropping people and finding better energy, or
Just energy, frequencies, vibes, all of that. When did you realize that there was actual value in it, and you started living your life
differently.
Yeah.
Man, I would say that only happened about 3 years ago, when I was watching something on a ad for the 9 Solfeggio frequencies of someone that was like talking about how we're in the Matrix, and pretty much we only see what we're told to see, and we only know what we've been told, and we're basically living in this virtual reality where it's like, if you want to drop all of that and become someone that pretty much is in control compared to being, programmed, because that's really what it is. It's a program that this whole world is created with toxic influence on, bad advertisement that's just basically flooded our whole system. And to get rid of that, I think just happened about 3 years ago, which had the biggest transformation on my life ever, as far as things I would never expect to happen have happened. And that's why I was saying, like, there's never been a day where I'm sober where I'm like, oh, this is the worst day of being sober. Like, I have this thing that's just no bad days, and I don't have bad days, because everything to me is like, I'm just happy to be alive. Seeing all my friends die too, it's like, how grateful am I? And now I got these kids that these 3 girls, I gotta make sure they're ready for what's a crazy life. Like, my daughter's always complaining, oh, why do I gotta do dishes? I'm like, dude, because when you grow up, you gotta do your own dishes.
Yeah.
You gotta learn now that, like, if you don't take this responsibility, you can be living in a pigsty, and we ain't trying to have that.
Yeah.
Like, I got to get you ready for the real world. So yeah, just about 3 years ago, I found this weird ad that was on YouTube, because YouTube's always listening, Big Brother's always listening, and they heard something of me basically talking about some mumbo jumbo, and they're like, well, what fits that with our ad system right now is this
Mm.
guy that's selling a book for 250 of this DNA reset. And then I got so heavy into frequencies, and I got probably about 50 tracks on Spotify too and YouTube that are all like what you were showing me, 432. But then there's the different types of frequencies, so it's not only in the tune. You can EQ it into frequency, so it only goes up to 432. And there's like, just to kind of give you some deep information of frequencies too, like the noise that you make on freeways, those bumpers, is actually a frequency to create energy, and it's creating you to be more alert, and I think of it like a battery charger, but you hit it, it's not only going to wake you up, but that frequency alone is like an energy, or the hum, that alone is like a frequency. I do that a lot with my kids, and like they'll calm down, and it's like just a meditation frequency. And there's also like ones that are for like mind control, and so that you like give in. There's frequencies just for that. There's frequencies to be like creating even like your metabolism, bringing up a big thing that I talked with Tumex is really into it, because I sent him that, and we had this long talk, because even in that gateway process they have something like the 55512. It's like a number, and if you repeat it, it's like a healing code,
Mm-hmm.
almost like we're in a video game.
Yeah.
And he loves that, and he's like, dude, I have this pain that's gone, that's been the worst pain ever for years, and it's just gone after I listen to this. I'm like, dude, the doctor came through, like I'm happy. He's like, dude, I've been giving it to my friends, and my friends love it, and that's really cool. But that's not what I'm doing it for, is to like spread the word. As much as I want people to be like awake and like help themselves through addiction or any type of thing that they want to like let go of or bring in to their life, I want that for people, but I'm doing it more for myself, and that's what I did it for. And now I have this huge catalog of all these different things that to pretty much give out to the world. But it's also for I go back to it all the time, and I listen to it for myself. And that's just something, yeah, like for the past about 3 years I've been working into it. And all those things that I told you right now are super crucial, that it's like we are pretty much programmed, and that's the thing, the DNA reset. Thinking about your DNA, the way I've been explained, through a lot of interviews and stuff like that, talking about the pineal gland and stuff like that, pineal, whatever you want to pronounce it. We're like a slot machine, and so our slot machine has basically been programmed through all this crazy shit of, whether it's bad or corrupt or good or pretty much brainwashing. Our system has created this level, and through the frequencies of what they explain the process, listening to all of them, 10 minutes a piece. It's about 120 minutes. It's 10 minutes. Yeah, an hour and a half or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, it's supposed to just reset everything.
So what about listening to it like when you're sleeping or something?
Yeah, your body is basically, and you want to use headphones, you can do it on stereo, but you're supposed to, there's a correct science to it that it's supposed to be like 1 dB on the left and 1 negative dB on the right.
Got you.
Which that actually will make your mind think harder.
Got you.
And yeah, I mean, since I've taken it, I would say the amount of benefit has been way better than I could have ever imagined. Like I said, manifestation on steroids. The stuff that I'm going through, I would have only kind of dreamed it. And it's like I'm living in that dream, but I'm still at a level, like I always say, I'm like 15% loaded. Like I got a lot of stuff still to go through before I'm like, I can retire. My music isn't there yet, but yeah, I got to get in those arenas. I got to get with Rock Nation or Live Nation, and got to start learning how to get in these festivals more, and just put myself in the right circle. That was a big reason why I worked with Tumex too, because he runs his own festival. He's doing the shows, and just even from that little thing that I've been working on, manifesting for the past 5 years, because I was printing his merch first. We were printing masks. That was probably one of my biggest success in printing too. I was printing masks when 3M was 6 months back ordered.
Okay.
I was getting masks sent right from the distributor, right from Cut and Sew, within the matter of weeks and had thousands and thousands and thousands. I did like a 6,500 pre-order.
God
It
damn.
was like selling Jordans.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have it in stock. And I had the supplier, and I put it up online. And my wife's like, "Yeah, you should start selling masks." And I was like, "That's fucking stupid."
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends that were doing it were just blowing up. Like, they were explaining, this is like selling Jordans. You know, this is the next biggest thing. And I was customizing. I did stuff for like Milky Way Factory and all these places, that Starbucks, you know. And then I started doing embroidery with them. And yeah, I mean, all these little things, you know, just started taking off. But it's all like this path that's kind of like brought me to where I am today, that I'm still trying to manipulate and try and, like, you know, mold to the perfect being. So pretty much if I, you know, died tomorrow, I know I've done everything possible. And I'm tired as hell. You know, even after I die, I'll still need about, you know, a few years to rejuvenate.
Let me chill out for a little before I reincarnate or whatever. Or whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, like
Damn.
I'm a few months backed up on exhaustion, but yeah, my wife pushes me a lot, you know, just trying to be a better person.
So do you see signs and like follow certain paths from whatever sign that you have? Like, say you come in contact with somebody and you get like a feeling like, I should link up with this person, I should connect with this person, or anything like that.
I don't know who's speaking to me, but when I was doing the printing for 2Mex, he's got the craziest fan base ever. Like, dude, he's just a legend in LA. He's loved by so many. He's toured around the world. He's a platinum artist. He's one of the biggest that's done it in LA. And I was printing for him, and his fan base was killing me. I'm talking about like hundreds and hundreds of orders. I'm like, fuck, I gotta ship it, I gotta print it, you know, which was cool. And I got that on my catalog and discography. But the whole time I was like, I gotta work with 2Mex, because I was a rapper still. And I told him, I want to work with you. And he was like, oh, well, this is what it's gonna cost you. And I said, okay, well, I'll get back to you. And
For a verse.
Yeah, luckily, I got back to him when I actually was happy with my music.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, when I sent him my first track that we did, he was like, dude, this is dope as fuck. Like, dude, you killed it. And even my buddy's like, dude, this song is fucking awesome. And it's such a different feeling from back in the day, where you have even just a slight bit of hesitation of like, fuck, you know, being a perfectionist, you're like, I could have done that, you know, or this could have been mixed a little bit better, or this has a weird sound on my stereo, or whatever it be. Luckily, we're at a good state where this album is fucking killer. To the point where I'm like, maybe I should press vinyl. I got people reaching out, I need vinyl. And I've sold out before doing CDs, but dude, we don't even have CD players in cars anymore. Everything's digital.
Yeah.
CDs like when you hit the road and you're like selling shit at a show. You give them the shirt, the hat, the bucket, you know, some stickers and CDs and vinyl, and maybe a cassette tape if you're crazy. I hate asking fans for money. I don't go and even promote my Apple Music because you got to pay. I go, dude, go to Spotify. Spotify is free. It's radio. Apple Music, what's cool is it keeps track of everything that you get that's on the radio. So, like, a lot of my music gets played on, like, FM, XM. You see all the radio stations. You have Apple Music, but then you have Apple Music artist page. Got Spotify Music and then Spotify Music artist page. So, with the Apple, though, like, you can see all your radio plays, and I see all around the world. Something cool is my YouTube hit, like, 214 countries. You know how many countries are in the U.S.? Or not the U.S., but the world? 194.
Oh, shit.
So I have, like, unknown territories. And everyone in the world, though, has... every country has checked me out. And you got to think, some of these places maybe have one computer. You know, like, it's third world countries.
At the farm.
Whatever, bro. And, yeah, my YouTube just hit 100,000 subscribers, which is cool.
Nice.
That was a big accomplishment that I was...
You get the plaque?
Yeah, I got a little plaque.
Dude, I love it. I need that.
Well, now, what sucks, I just looked up and I go... Well, what about 200,000? They go, they don't give a fuck about 200,000.
Yeah.
They go, the next one's at a million.
100 and then a million.
And then I think you got to hit like 5 million, and then like 50 million gets you a custom plaque.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I just want to be the Mr. Beast of hip hop. You know, like, sounds good. The vision's there, but I think the biggest thing that really holds me back is that a lot of these collabs I do, it's not with the artist directly.
Yeah.
So, like, now that I'm working with Living Legends, something super cool is they're like, well, I was talking to Scarab. He's like, dude, I'll put it on the Living Legends page. And I'm like, dude, that would be amazing. That would change everything. The fact that your fans can see it showcased compared to me just like, yeah, I got a track with so and so.
So I don't mean to cut you off. So, but I'm okay. So you say I have a Lil Wayne, I have an Eminem, I have a Future feature. They're not necessarily aware of it.
They're aware of it because the A&R
But they
has
signed.
the paperwork.
They signed off.
Someone owns the masters of it.
Okay, but it's not like a traditional way where you say like,
don't go in the studio.
We're gonna jump in the studio. Yeah. Okay, we promo it together.
Yep.
All right, we're releasing on this day. Okay, cool. It's gonna be on your Instagram, my Instagram. Okay, got you.
Yeah, which is huge difference.
Okay.
Being able like. Think about it. That's how Drake got started with Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. You know, him basically being like, come piggyback off me. You know, and I'm going to introduce you. Keeping in mind, though, too, if I paid for an Eminem feature, that'd be like maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
I was just looking at something the other day. It was like, $5 million for a feature. Something like that, you know, for them to get on that album. And I'm thinking, I can afford that. So the way that I'm doing it is legitimately a way and a loop that they've been only doing for like since 2005, I want to say it started.
Okay.
Where people are able to like basically sell verses with masters. And that's the whole thing is like they own the right to everything. You know, I even own the masters to a Cannabis album, which goes back to my MF Doom because MF Doom was on the Cannabis album. So I have the masters contract on that of his actual album. And then I have the sign-off, and then I have the actual contract on owning the single track. And, yeah, I mean, all this stuff, dude, is just, it's like, I'm not an attorney, dude. I didn't go to legal. Like, my grandpa was, like, top-of-the-line attorney back in the day, like, in the paper, and got, like, an award. But just because it's in my blood doesn't mean, like, you know, that's what I went to school for.
Yeah.
And luckily, I haven't had to, like, hire an actual... lawyer or anything like that, and everything is usually just like, oh well, we're just gonna take down your music if it was wrong. So out of about the 60 tracks that I've released with big name artists, maybe 2 of them have had issues.
Got you. Okay, so I don't want to ask you the exact price, but is there a ballpark you can give for like these features that you're getting from these like A-list artists?
Yeah, it could be up to around like 15 grand.
Okay. Got you.
Which compared to if you were paying for a Future track from Future, it'd be like 150,000
for sure. Okay, and then say like the Eminem verse. Is there a date from when he actually recorded that verse?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one that you have,
I have 2.
I don't know the name. I heard of one. It's like M's the first verse on it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing early 2000s.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it says it on the contract.
Okay, got it. Okay, then this makes a lot more sense.
Which is crazy because, like, I was just showing my buddy on Sinister Records. I was like, yeah, well, check out, dude. I got the 50 Cent. He goes, this sounds like 50 Cent before he was 50 Cent. And it is like that. Like, even he's like, dude, this 2 Chainz verse is old. And it's like, well, that's actually kind of good because no one knows about it.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff, too, comes from mixtapes.
Okay.
But then sometimes some of the verses I get, like I have an Inspected Deck exclusive. And I noticed there's no difference from getting the exclusive from actually just buying out the verse, and owning it as like a licensed verse. So that's the difference, an exclusive or a non-exclusive. Meaning 50, 100, 1,000 people could own the same verse.
Got you. Okay.
Or exclusive, which is sometimes more, depending who you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know Wu-Tang's A&R, and he was like, oh, dude, you could just have this. Like, he gave me a Riff Raff track for free. Oh, you just have this. Like, I
love Riff Raff.
I talked to Andre Legacy about that recently. He was like, yo, Riff Raff's expensive. I'm like, dude, I was just given a Riff Raff verse. But luckily, it was an exclusive. And, he makes some ridiculous videos, too, where it's like, the dude is a fashion icon.
Yeah.
He's a rap sensation, and that's kind of, I even hit up like Andy Milonakis for the album because Andre Legacy's on it. So I wanted to hit up Mickey Avalon, and I talked to him and I showed him the track, but Andre was saying, dude, don't hit up Mickey. Like he quoted me a while back. I think he wanted like 5,000, which to me is like a fuck you price.
Mm.
Like Necro wanted 2,000, which is like, keeping in mind you release the music with these people, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to be like a few million streams unless you put maybe a music video behind it. Now they want another 2K. You know, now they want 10K for the music video. Snoop Dogg, he wants 100K just to even hang out with him. You know, like, I don't have that kind of money, but I put my money where my mouth is when it came to this music. And it's like money can buy fame, but it can't buy respect. I have the power to put 10 million views on a video. You know, like, I know how the networking and marketing works with even going into the advertisement for even record labels. You know, I've gone through the whole process of learning from these people on how it's done, and I know I could be an overnight celebrity if I wanted to, but it's like when my mixtape that I was on with Matt Child, it got up for an award. It was like, oh, it's up for mixtape of the year, like, go vote. It's like, I could have paid for that to win, but that's not, I don't want an award that I paid for.
Got you.
And you come to realize too, with the social media and boosting, I don't want 10 million fucking followers, randos. I want, like, that's the thing, like, working with lately even 2Mex, I've been having thousands of people sometimes a day getting at it on my page, and they're like DMing me, and I'm like, dude, you got music with 2Mex? That's crazy. I love 2Mex. Something you probably didn't know is his music is actually available in like prison. They only give you a few different, like, motivational people to listen to, where you can go check it out at, like, the library. So he's got, like, this cult following of people all around the world, and he's not only got his fan base, but he's got even people locked up, you know, that are like, dude, you know, we love 2Mex. And I got a ton of people just hitting me up, dude, like, huge fan, love your music, like,
2Mex.
underground.
That's the one that you're dropping the album with.
Yeah.
When is that album releasing?
It's going to be probably in the next few months.
Okay.
I'm literally waiting on, like, 2 tracks right now. The intro, and then Sunspot Jones to finish up with a Scarab track that has Scott Storch on it. And Eli's about to be dropped. That's with Scare Beats. And then I have another track coming out with, what was it? Picasso from Living Legends. And after that, it would be the Scarab and Sunspot Jones. So, like I was saying, I really plan it out, like, week per week per week, to make sure that I'm not missing out on the potential of playlist ads.
Got it.
Because I know the potential. Like, I've hit 1 million in, like, under a month. Had the 950,000 monthly listeners, where I was like, dude, there's a formula to make this work. And, like, sadly, that happened with Eminem, where it's like his fan base is so big. That has a lot to do with it. You know, he's number 12 in the world. But, like, this NBA Youngboy track that's about to drop, he's number 1 right now in every genre on Billboard. So hopefully, like, that has some type of influence on it. But I've only yet to basically experiment with all these different ways of tactics. Like, you know, if Eminem was that big, but NBA is big right now, who knows what happens with the song? And the song's called 6'7". And I talked to my daughter, and she's like, yeah, like, 6'7's over. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not, dude. Like,
sorry, Dad. That was last month. Oh, shit. Okay. So, he's right there. He's looking at you right there, bro. He's like, let's fucking go, dude. Bro. That's it, bro. I just fucking, let me see. Hold on. Boom. That's it. Manifested right there. So say it comes out, young boy gets word of it, and he, like, reaches out to you.
Well, dude, like, I post a lot of my music too, and, like, Spice One will repost it, or, like, Baby Easy E, or Chino XL's family has been reposting our music that I did with Chino XL before he passed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Chino XL.
Just the name just being in hip hop.
So having people actually share it is, like, one big thing, but for them to, like, put it on their actual social media is, like, the next step. And then the step after that would be, like, music video.
Got you. Okay.
And then the next step would be, like, being on the same stage.
So you're saying put it on, like, sharing it, that's one thing. Putting it on the page, like, if he was
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, they would like to hard post it. You mean?
Well, like collaborative
Or
post.
okay, okay.
You're familiar with that,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So collaborative post I've been doing a lot lately, and it's like, yeah, I'll do 10, 20 times the amount more reach because you're bringing every single
For
person
sure.
in on it. And that's what I was saying with when I was talking to Scarab. He's like, yeah, dude, I'll put it on the Living Legends page. It's like, wow, not only does that like mean so much to me, but like this is one of the biggest inspirations I had growing up. So to think I'm a part of, that catalog, which is why I was so hesitant to send Eli the artwork where it's like, this
Yeah.
is set in stone. This is going to be forever my timeless fate. And we're already working on another track like
Yeah.
coming up soon. So like I know the collaboration's right around the corner. It's not going to be the last track, but this is for the album. And this is for 2Mex's album, and he's doing really bad right now. He's doing dialysis 3 times a week.
Oh no.
He lost his leg from
Damn.
diabetes, and then he's losing his vision. So this
Fuck.
was kind of like out of respect for him to not only get him, some good money for medical expenses and stuff, and out of his hard times, but you don't know how long someone has left to live, and that's why it was so important that I've been trying to bring, some of his family in on it, like Living Legends, who he's toured with, and they have so much love for him. And right away when I reached out, they're like, dude, of course I'd want to be on it. Like, let me help you.
Gotcha.
And not only that, but like I'm putting them as primary artists. So like I was saying, if you put me as primary artist on your Spotify when you release this, it goes to my catalog. So that's what's kind of big too, is that it's not just going to dive into my fan base, but I'm diving also into other people's fan base. Along with 2Mex, we're doing a trifecta of audience of potential reach. And that's why it's so important when you have people like Eminem or NBA Youngboy, where the meta information matches so that it can reach those potential listeners. I just dropped a track with Jizza and it hit like, I don't know, 8,000 in the first 24 hours streams. And I think at one point it had like over 100 people listening. I was like, hell yeah. But I've seen like a few thousand people at once streaming, and
Yeah.
I've hit a couple 100,000 streams in a day with Eminem. And so I know the potential and I know where it could be. And that's I think the hardest thing is where you're like, I know what I could do, and I just want to leave the biggest legacy possible. And I don't want it to be like Oliver Tree, where, I think he just got streamed something crazy, dude. Like I want to say 200 or 300 plus million monthly listeners. But that took for when he died, and I listened to him so much, growing up, and like I've hit him up so many times. Oliver, let me open for you. I just want to, play a show with you. I want to, I want to meet you, type of thing. And then it's too late.
Yeah.
So you wait too long, and then they pass away, and then everyone in the world's like, Aliens just released, and we don't care. But Oliver Tree died, and like, and this was a big news media. It was everywhere on my timeline. It's still on my timeline everywhere. But yeah, I mean, that's the last thing I want is like when I pass away, it's finally gonna get out to people. Or you got to think too, you have buddies that are rappers, and then they die. Not only did they not have a good discography, but their music will never be like a big legacy, or because my goal is like my music will take care of my family's family, or my kids, building an empire. And like I see the potential, not there yet, not even close, but I know that's a possibility. And yeah, I don't want to go out without my arms blazing and swinging.
I love it, bro. I've never heard this side of the music industry before. It gives me hope because I want to make a track, and I just think like, damn, maybe I could just get like a.
That's what's crazy though. I mean, like let's just play it out really quick. TikTok's the cheapest thing right now. For like 100,000 streams, you could do or 100,000 plays. It's like you could pay like $15 from the right. I just cracked the code on that recently, where I've been doing advertising forever, and I used to have this system where I did JavaScript, and you would log into it, and when you logged into it, you gave the access to everyone in the system, your access to your account, but then you had their access. So I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but have you ever heard of like politician farms?
Mm-mm.
Joe Rogan talks about it on his podcast, but the politician farms are basically the left and the right, right? They're always fighting, and they're always creating this whole like war, especially on social media, to go influence people, to create ruckus and whatnot. There's farms though that create these comments, and there's
Oh, like
counts.
bot farms.
Bot farms, but then there's ones literally called politician farms.
Oh,
It's
dedicated
just
specifically to
yeah,
politics. Okay.
politics. And with social media though, there's ways that I was doing coding back in the day where you would log into your account and then I could send comments, you could send likes, shares, everything. And it's like for for that being said, you don't know what's real and what's fake.
Yeah.
Because then when I look at major labels, you're like, I don't know if you've ever looked at like maybe artists like Eminem or something where you're actually watching their analytics. Or have you ever done that?
Mm-mm.
You have the ability on Facebook to actually go and find different businesses and say, I want to watch the insight, so you can see their analytics. But here's a great example. Eminem and Will Smith are the number one people on Facebook. And I think they're close to around 80 million plus people following them. If you watch his analytics and his audience, it drops by around 400,000 at a time. But then all you see is the million. So most people aren't going to say like, well, that's weird. Like, I thought it was close to 90 million. Now it's going down almost 1 million less. The people that are generating, a lot of this audience is like tripling up on the losses. Because keep in mind, Facebook, Instagram, they're gonna red flag these
Got you.
users
Yes.
because it does get identified, and even though it does help them with all this more audience and attraction, they also are regulating it. And all I wanted to point out though is if you released a song like just going over it the other day, you can pay for even Spotify streams, and it's like, yeah, for 1 million it was about $600.
Mm. So like bot streams.
There's difference from bot because
Okay.
they actually label it on these websites. There's campers, there's bots, there's premium, there's ones that will actually generate active audience. Bots is one thing, which is like a number, but then there's also different ways of a premium account, not a ghost account.
Got you. Okay. So they're active.
Yeah, and that's what I'm pointing out though. These days, it's like you see a lot of these artists. They come and they go, and I've seen even like people who almost create it into a joke. It's like, oh, they're an overnight celebrity, like they got a ton of streams, and they're usually doing better than they were prior.
Yeah.
Like they might have had two. They have two aliases now. Have you ever heard of the guy Little Windex?
Nah, maybe.
Well, he's in Canada, and like one day, he just pops up with an account. It's like, yeah, 30,000 people are a part of it, and instantly that creates like this thought process where people are like, he's famous.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard it, but like I've had people literally show me a video. Look how many stats are on it. It's viral, or it's big. And so I believe that's the problem too with these days is most artists are trying to chase like and compare themselves to, oh well, he's got 10 million, so I got to get up to 10 million or whatever. Kind of going back on the Eminem thing too. So like just create some sense of these high profile artists that I know are definitely using this tactic. An article was stating Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga have like around a 60% fake fan base. So like you said, bots. Basically a bunch of information that's sitting there boiling away, making sure that people are still thinking that they're relevant. Now, if you send, let's say, 1 million views on a YouTube video, more than likely you're going to get about 250,000 like organic, just because now it's creating this analytics, and you're put inside of this whole this whole different algorithm. It creates now it's a hot video, or it's recommended. It's
So the
big.
bots get it there, and
But
then hopefully
the organic
comes. Okay.
Yeah, it has to.
Yes.
It's just how the algorithm starts, because they're doing data constantly, or who are we going to put it in front of. Now going back to Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga. Now how I know this is definitely accurate, because you read an article, you're like, what's real? You can probably ask ChatGPT, hey, is this real? It might give you a more accurate reading on it. But look at their like even Facebook, and some posts have like tens of thousands of likes, and you're like, that's legitimate, that looks right. But then even Snoop Dogg, I saw the other day, it was like he had like 50 likes on a post, or Justin Bieber having like 60 likes on a post. And you're like, okay, well, how could someone with 50 million followers
Yeah.
have that? It's because either their marketing team dropped the ball on one post.
They didn't send the bots to
They
that
didn't send it
post.
on that. I mean, there's no way you could tell me not even 1% is getting
Yeah.
the information. And that's something where I'm trying to just point out where people are kind of blind to this, where they don't know that a lot of this industry is smoke and mirrors. And record labels, I know personally, like, you can't tell me that Drake recently did 1 billion streams. Like, even if you see it on paper, to say like 1 billion people listen to Drake, I know for a fact that ain't true. And I think he got up to like 500 million, but then sometimes, what it came out to with his monthly listeners is 100 million, because those 100 million supposedly played it 5 times at least a piece. There's this whole other system, like I'm pointing out, where $600 buys you that million streams.
Got you.
Monthly listeners you can buy. These websites that have all this marketing, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of different services, all the way down to even like giving people direct DMs on Instagram.
Yeah.
Doing, I think it's Telegram. Is that a phone call app?
Mm-hmm.
Where you can like basically generate leads, which then you're starting to think, well, then how many marketing companies out there are sending you just robotic information that's like, oh, well, that's a hot lead. We're going to generate you, X amount of leads. You didn't close it. That's your fault. But you can control the messages. The comments are really weird. You can type in whatever you want, and it goes out to those 10,000 comments, and it really mixes it up. You could create a spreadsheet of every comment. So this whole, like I was pointing out, this virtual reality we're in, it gets a lot deeper if you're like really looking into of what's real and what's not. Because that's where the underground comes in clutch, where you have these diehard fans. You look at their page and they have real people constantly interacting not only with me but with them, and reaching out, and that actual like authenticity of it, and the genuine feeling of like, this is legitimate and there's definitely a way to not be legitimate. That's the whole confusion, I think, that comes out to this industry, where people are like, well, I want to be like him, he's got 10 million followers. And it's like, okay, well, how much of that is actually legitimate?
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that part, that there's ways to trick it. But if you have an image,
if you have a lot of money,
if you have a rollout, you can definitely just press the button.
Got a golden spoon, you might just be able to, because I've been on a tour before, and I remember the dad said something that really hit home with me. He goes, I asked my son one day, I said, what do you want to do with your, because he had so much money. He was able to basically do whatever the kid wanted, and the kid said, I want to be a rapper. And he goes, so we got him lessons, and we paid to be on this tour, and and now he's a rapper. And it's like, well, it must be nice that you had so much money you can just do whatever you want to do, like Elon Musk. I'm just gonna go buy PayPal and fucking Twitter, and pull some crazy shit. It's just like, I don't have that, dude. I don't have like the, my parents gave me some big huge inheritance.
Yeah.
I'm doing it on my own, and I appreciate that much more everything that happens. Like you said, dude, business is hard. You gotta worry about financial and stuff like that. Like, luckily I'm in that state, but I don't think about it, because I know personally it's all gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing I'm doing. If I was buying booze, and I was like buying smokes and buying a couple ounces at a time, I might be a little concerned.
Yeah.
Because I'm going in that direction that could be a little bit more costly, and not affordable. But like, I'm making it work. And I mean, if me and you had all the money in the world, we could be famous tomorrow.
Yeah.
No problem. You could come out with a song and it would be the biggest. You can pay for being on Billboard. You can pay for charting. That's how crazy it is. There's websites out there that'll literally say, I'll make yours number 1 for this much. You'll be number 5 for this much. Number 50, you'll be this much. And I've charted without paying a dime. All my stuff has been zero budget.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest good feeling in the world.
For sure.
That you're like, I didn't pay for it, but I know it's there.
The shortcut.
Yeah, if I wanted to number 1, I know it's just a budget away.
Yeah. Bro, I love it, man. Damn, we've already been... Fuck, this flew by. I love it, bro. Like, all the stuff that you're talking about, there's a reason that we're having this conversation. I believe that we are in some sort of simulation, something It's not just as black and white as, you know, there was a Big Bang Theory and we came from fish and we walked on land and now we're humans. And like, no, I think there's a lot more to it. I'm reading these signs, and something told me to have you on the podcast. You know, you did get a lot of responses, which was dope. It was for me to check out. You know, something caught, especially what'd you call it? The package, the
EPK,
the
electronic press kit.
that was amazing. I loved that, but something was that like you need to have this conversation, bro, and you've given me so many things to think about, bro, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't showcase any of that stuff too about the frequencies because honestly, you talk to a lot of your friends about it, and they'll be like, "Dude, he's like conspiracy
Fucking
theorist.
crazy, yeah.
This dude's crazy." So I don't even bring it up,
I
honestly.
love it,
But yeah, it's been helping a lot of people, and it helps me out. So
bro. Thank you. I'm a fan now. I'm gonna like. I saw the features that you had, and I was trying to figure this all out. But that's amazing, bro. I love it. I love the investments that you made. I love what you're doing. This is so cool. One thing that I want to hear from you is it's the hot topic right now of, you know, who's the best rapper in the 805. Are you in touch with what's going on locally as far as the hip hop community locally, or do you deal with any of that?
I know that the 805 is very like I don't want to say it's like got gatekeepers, but good luck trying to work with some people.
Got you.
You know, it's nearly impossible, and I've tried for decade plus on trying to reach out and get into certain circles, and I've worked with some of the best beat makers in 805, people who are winning the competitions. As far as like the artists that are doing the shows, like good luck getting in those circles. You know, I got a buddy of mine that's constantly pointing out, you know, oh, you know, number one in streams and stuff like that. Like I get tons of streams locally and do good and stuff like that, but it's not a competition, and I hate to even put myself on like that type of board of like who's the best.
Got you.
Because like I was pointing out, it would be Madlib and Anderson .Paak. Those people actually made it.
Yeah.
There's a big difference from like locally blowing up to someone who officially made it and getting paid millions for a show. You know,
For sure. Yeah. I don't know why people take that out of the equation, because it's like, who's the biggest? But if you get out of this atmosphere, you don't count anymore. Like, that should be the one that counts the most.
local support too. I get more support from people around the world than I do locally. You know,
Why do you think that is?
I think everyone's busy doing their own thing. I think after I stopped partying too, people are like, "This fool's boring." We don't want him over here judging us, which I don't judge people. I'll go to a bar if my wife wants to go to a bar, and I'll be the DD for her and her friends. But like, I don't hit up my buddies knowing that that's what they do. They like to party. They're doing things that, you know, I wouldn't even want to be around. It's not that I feel like I'd like cave in, but it's just not me, dude. And it's like when I was growing up and my dad was like, "You want to go to the Dodger game?" I'm a huge diehard Dodger fan now. But when I was a kid, I was like, dude, I'm busy. I got work. I got 20 jobs running right now, and there's no way I can feel confident that when I go to that game, I'm going to relax. There's no relaxing, and I'm working. And sports, I always said I hated sports. Now, since I have a family, I love sports. I'm like, dude, I've been watching FIFA. I've been watching MLB. I was watching the end of the NFL, you know, like even everything now is like, I even appreciate cleaning my car.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's some peace, dude.
Yeah.
So, I never understood about my meditation, dude. Like, as far as the best though, I researched that right before I came here, and I don't like Anderson .Paak. I helped him with a festival and did some art for him with Wu-Tang as well. I would say Madlib.
Madlib. Okay.
Madlib's got some of the dopest discography ever, and growing up too is like, that's some of the best music I've ever heard. Heavily inspired by it. As far as King Harris and Cyrillus, though, I would say Cyrillus killed that.
You think it's gonna turn into anything else, or you think it's just a one and done?
Well, I think a better question would be: is it even real?
I mean, I feel it's pretty real, because it all kind of stems out of here.
I don't know. Like, even beef these days though could all be orchestrated.
For sure. For
They're like,
sure.
oh, this will be important, and this is fresh, and this is hot right now, and this is like, let's generate some attention, almost like shock value.
Yeah.
Which I've always never been a fan of that, because I feel like a lot of artists that go for that shock value, or like that quick, what can I do to raise up some attention, and it's like it's just really hard for me to even say what's real and what's not.
I mean, it could be that way from one
Competition.
side.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way from both sides. It could be from one side or the other. One person, seeing an opportunity and taking that opportunity. But I get it. It's so hard to see what's actually real if they're behind the scenes. Like, okay, I'm gonna post this, then you post this, or it could be one person, which what the way that I'm seeing it is, King Harris saw the clip that we put up that I intentionally clipped to get some sort of conversation going, and he's the one that took offense to it, and he put up his his verse or his freestyle.
What's funny that I took
did.
out of all of it is that Cyrillus says you need a budget in order to beef with me.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, I know where King Harris went and recorded that. I know that guy's studio, and he's really expensive.
Yeah.
He's
destructive.
Yeah, he's a big budget.
Yeah, I mean, he got a video out of it too. That's
So that's what I'm saying. There's
a
lot
package
of,
to it.
There's a lot of like beauty behind it, and like kind of just dressing it up. It's not just a beef. It's something more than that. Where I think it's something to be in the timeline, in the milestone, and creating that shock factor.
Yeah.
Where all these people are they're gonna take sides, but then they're also maybe discovering these people for the first time.
For sure.
Because when I did the world record with Guinness Book, I did something with Streetlight. I was calling him out on some YouTube or something, saying, fuck Streetlight. I broke his record, whatever. And then he went and told his audience to basically come hate on me. Like, go destroy, Dr. Moriarty. And I ended up getting like thousands of followers.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I think haters are my number one fans.
Yeah.
Not only did they not hate, they ended up being like turned, because dude wasn't a puppeteer. He wasn't able to like orchestrate, like, well, these are my minions and my army will go after you. It was more like people have their own, ability to think for themselves.
You just highlighted this dude.
Yeah, just
who is
basically
this
posted.
guy? Yeah.
The only thing they got out of it was my tag, and they went there and they followed me. But the one thing I would say is that you don't want to mess with Cyrillus, because he's not someone that's like, kind of someone that would talk the talk and not walk it.
Yeah.
He would be the last person I'd ever want to piss off.
Yeah. For sure.
That dude's straight gangster.
Yeah, I get that vibe from him, and I fuck with him, bro. Like after sitting down,
I'd be scared
with
if
him,
I was king, dude. Like honestly.
Oh shit! Yeah, I mean, at the best right now, the eyes are on both of them. And
King's old news though. I haven't heard anything from King in so long. So like maybe 5-10 years ago, he worked with like E40, and this is big. Since then, dude, I would say I haven't heard one thing coming out of his camp. Nor have I really been paying attention, because I wouldn't say it was someone that was worth like following. Gotcha. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm my number one fan.
Yeah.
So like I listen to my music, and I put on very few artists. Like I'll listen to Living Legends, I'll listen to MF Doom, I'll listen to what's crazy is like old Tupac mixes with Doom. He did like this stuff with Tupac. I rarely will put on like some actual Tupac. It's just a little too old. Like when I was growing up, it was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love Biggie Smalls too. I don't really follow too many. Like I'll watch most of Cyrillus's new stuff, because I am a fan, not just a friend, and think of him as like a brother. But it's like, it's hard to focus. My buddy on my label, he's always like, "Oh, you don't know who this is, or you don't know who this is." It's like, dude, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Even the people I work with, half the time I'm not like, yo, I'm the huge fan of this person. But then I work with them because it is also a ability to network.
Yeah.
So it's not always about like, yeah, this person, is got a huge reputation. That's why I'm able to, or I'm a huge fan. It doesn't have to be like that. And yeah, I think that's the hardest part. Is like I don't have time for King Harris,
Yeah.
nor know what's going on with him at the moment. I know he's got a lot of love, and if you look into 805, I got tons of buddies that I've grown up with in hip hop that oh dude, you know King Harris, you know that cat, like he's doing big things, and I like to hit them up and be like, bro, I'm doing big things.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like,
Stand on it for sure.
but
I
yeah,
mean, we'll see if this causes, maybe that was his whole plan all along, to spark it up and see what he can do from it. I like that freestyle that he did, but then
I think
the Surrealist one came out and I was like, damn,
I
that
think
was kind of
something Surrealist even pointed out too was that like you pretty much made this for attention, and that's what's crazy is that people could be desperate enough to where they're trying to even maybe diminish their name or put their name on the line by going for that clickbait and that shock value of like, there's so many people out there that want that clout. They just want that attention. So they're going to name drop even people way crazy in their caliber where maybe, Kanye or 50 Cent isn't going to respond because you're just an ant. But in this case, I don't think it's going to be like a Kendrick or a Drake beef, obviously at that caliber.
yeah.
But I think it would be something beneficial to both of them,
Yeah.
and whether or not it's orchestrated or 100% real, that could turn into something ugly.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the conspiracy theories out there. I'm kind of tapped in right now where I can hopefully say that this is as organic as it gets.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where it goes, as long as it just all stays rap, which, I mean, that you have to be careful when you want to swing for the fences and still keep it inside the park, because once that ball goes out, the game's over.
Yeah,
like,
I just think Surrealist would be the last person to ever fuck with.
for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Dude's scary. He's a scary dude. Like he'd be your friend, but at the same time, dude, he's got face tats. He has that look like he will stab you.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get to that point, and hopefully we get a few more tracks out of it. But I really feel like at this moment right now, the ball's in King Harris's court, and man, you better get a 3-pointer out of somewhere, bro. And this is just me being a hip hop fan from the outside looking in. I'm not a huge Surrealist fan or a King Harris fan, and that's just because I've barely been introduced to them. Like, as a person, I've sat with Surrealist and I fuck with him heavy, dude, and like I fuck with his story and his vibe and everything. I haven't met King Harris yet, but right now I'm on the outside.
You gotta get him on.
Yeah, we're already working on it right now, so I want to hear his side of it. But yeah, as far as it right now,
I bet you. I mean, is it because I didn't look into every single little piece and there's so much details? Is it something where Surrealist is saying he's the best of 805?
No. So what happened, and this all started with Love, is that I asked him. He was talking. I was asking him who he thinks was the best from the 805, and he said that he's got love for everybody. He mentioned, his homies, and he was like, yo, all these guys are good and no disrespect, but I think Enzom is the number one best artist to ever come out. And that's all he said. That was it. And if you go to that reel that we posted, Enzom is getting nothing but love in there. No negativity, no nothing. Everybody is co-signing it. And the only one that didn't was King Harris. And he posted a gif of like, kind of like, what the fuck is this about? So he took offense to that when he wasn't mentioned in it at all. But I mean, this is just rap. This is hip hop.
I wasn't mentioned either.
Yeah. So it's your time. You gotta throw. But yeah, it all started as Love, and then it was as of yesterday. So funny because my buddy, he's a barber, and he was cutting my hair, and we were just talking about it, and then he's the one that brought it up. And later on that day, he sends me a link, and that was the Bitch Please song that King Harris released. And I sent that to Surrealist, and I'm like, what are you going to do, bro? And he didn't
I
even
listened
see
to it, and I didn't hear, I mean, he didn't even use Cyrillus's name.
He did mention him. He just mentioned him by name, and
Oh,
then
he used Cyrillus's
he
real
said
name.
Cyrillus's name. So if you weren't savvy of that reel that I posted, it would have just went over your head. You wouldn't have thought anything of it. But if you
No,
saw
I
that
watched it.
and then you listen to the song, he says Cyrillus's name, and then he says, because Cyrillus says something, the enzom is good in English and in Spanish. So King Harris said something like, the only Spanish I know is like puto and maricon, so that's like bitch and faggot, you know. And that's like, okay,
Puto
so
pendejo.
yeah, when you're using those words, I know exactly what you're doing, and you know, and that was him putting it out there, and it was a straight direct shot, and more at Cyrillus than at Enzom, which Cyrillus didn't say that he was the best. He said the Enzom was the best. So I don't know why King Harris didn't go directly.
See, I don't even know what Enzom is.
Oh, okay, got it.
Do
And
you?
I know of him, but I'm not familiar with his music.
Which is probably part of Cyrillus's circle too.
Yes,
Close people that he
I think
admires.
he calls him his brother, so I think that they're really close family cousins.
So like King Harris has got his own circle too. I would say a lot of it's from like Oxnard people I know from Oxnard, and diehard friends that would only say the best things.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Jordan though, Jordan gets a ton of love, and you could tell. I'm sure he's heard it a million times, but he's not gonna make it. He already has.
For sure, he outside of the 805. Like
He's not gonna be something someday. He is already something.
For sure.
King Harris. I'm not like trying to talk down on him, but I haven't heard his name in forever.
Got it.
So that's what I'm saying is that Jordan was mentioning it's like anything to be relevant. Like just to even put his name out there and get some people's attention.
I mean, it could very well be that, because
it's
that's
working.
It's working.
A lot of people probably didn't know who King Harris is. Now are like, King who?
Which this is his chance. I hope he's in the studio, not cooking up more disses, but I hope he has something to drop, because all the eyes are on him now. Cyrillus is doing shows, and he's got so much shit going on already. So it's like,
what's funny is Cyrillus is like a cinematographer. He's like a visual guy.
Yeah.
So it's like for him, his videos always look like it's like straight cinematic and like a movie, but you could tell like it doesn't take much for him to get to that level. He has all the tools compared to King Harris, who's got to put a budget in front of him. Cyrillus is like in his studio with like a tripod or something, and it looks dope as hell, and he's always got the visuals going. And that's what's funny is like I don't think it would take much of a budget for Cyrillus or anything at all, and it's just as simple as a post and a video, and probably not even much editing.
Bro, he texted me. This is inside information, guys. I don't think he would want me to, or he don't care if I put it out. But as of like midnight last night, he wasn't gonna do anything with it. And then,
but he had the video.
No, he didn't do nothing. He didn't have anything. By midnight, he was like, I'm not gonna do anything with this. And then the next day, by like 11 o'clock in the morning, so within that 11 hours, his idea changed. He dropped that fire-ass freestyle and the visuals for it. So when you're dealing with somebody like that, that's kind of dangerous, bro, because you don't need a destructive. You don't need a studio. You don't need anything else. This dude in 11 hours changed his mind to be like, okay, I got time now. And then jumped on it.
Yeah.
He just created a whole different persona for that. What is it, Geordie High Roller or whatever he's
some
doing?
Some of the funniest shit I've ever seen.
And dropping videos, all of this within a week. He dropped like at least 3 different
what's funny
tracks.
Is I fuck with it.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it, bro. I fuck with it.
And I love to see success in people that I love. So like, yeah, even to see that it's getting good attention, and I mean, not everyone in the world would be able to do that. where they'd be able to drop something. I thought it was so cool that he's got such a diehard fan base too. You just move over a completely different genre, start a completely different character, and the love
It's
just
going.
comes in flooding. And more, that's what's crazy too, if you think about it. More success in that one person than probably most people that rap in this 805 will ever get in their life.
For sure.
And this is a side persona that's, it might not even be his serious project.
Yeah.
But getting more love in that than most people in the whole 805 are going to get in their entire life and career. Probably even the streams. Probably one of those songs will get more streams than most of these people will see in their whole entire career.
Yeah.
And that's the whole hard part that I kind of have to like comprehend is it's, I always want more. So I'm like, oh, I want to hit that 10 million or that 1 billion or the 100 million, or huge more monthly listeners. But it's like what I'm seeing in my catalog is more than most people would ever. I got buddies that are like, dude, I'm just trying to get past 1,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, the struggle is real.
Yeah.
But you just got to be grateful, and you just kind of have to appreciate for what it is.
I love it, bro. What an amazing conversation, man. Thank you so much. You've opened my eyes to a lot, and it's fun to just throw these ideas at people because, like, you're right when you start talking about frequencies and manifesting shit like that. If you talk to the wrong person about it, they're gonna be like, "What is fucking wrong with?"
Or even
this
people are gonna
dude?"
listen to this and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is he on?"
For sure.
The fool is out there. He's
For
fried.
sure. But you're speaking my language, bro, and I get it. And the only reason that I'm behind it full force is I've seen it happen personally so many times, time after time after time.
Did you ever read that book, The Secret of Life?
No.
It was basically he was creating that vision board pretty much.
Okay.
And it was like, what do you want to do, and putting it out there, and like, manifesting.
Yes.
That's like one of the biggest bestsellers.
The Secret.
The Secret. Is that what
Just The Secret.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like maroon and goldish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have the DVD playing in our TV down there, and I've never sat down and watched it. But
I think I read the summary and I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
yeah, it's pretty cool. The one that really resonated with me was the Four Agreements.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you ever read that one before, but it talks about these four agreements. One of them is like never take anything personally. Damn, I can't remember all of them, but it just definitely gave me a different outlook on life. I've really been into Neville Goddard. Are you familiar with Neville?
Mm-mm.
So Neville, he talks a lot about manifesting and thinking about what you want to do and just start acting like you're already there. And
I do that all the time,
bro.
I don't even. It might not even happen, but I'm like, it's happened.
It's happened already.
Yeah, I put it out there, and I know it's gonna work because from my formula, like I know that this is gonna happen, and I do that constantly. Where it's not even fake until you make it, because you've already put the seeds in play for that tree to grow.
Yeah, and that's what he talks about. You got to have the faith that it's gonna grow. He said when you're planting a tree, you don't dig up the seed every few days to see if it's sprouting or it's growing. You plant it, you have faith that it's going to grow, and you already think that when you're planting a tree, like I have an avocado tree that's growing, and I know, okay, someday that's going to start producing avocados, and I see it growing little by little, but there's no doubt in my mind that it's not going to produce avocados.
Yeah.
It's going.
It was something too. I was just looking at today. It was like talking about negative people, because that's like a very weird thing to even kind of research. Is like, well, why is someone so negative? And it's that they kind of obsess over negativity. Like you could be happiest person in the world, but you can't convince them to be happy because they can't let go. And it was basically talking about how you really just have to let go of that negativity or the depression or the bad thoughts and the negativity in your life. You have to let go of it. But some people, I don't know if you ever have people like this in your life, but they're like, no, dude, like you have no idea. I'm, obsessing over traumatic,
It's like an identity.
Yeah, but it's like, why even go there when you could be having a good time?
Yeah.
Everyone's having a good time but you. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But It's like even gamblers, because I used to be a poker dealer. When I worked in the kitchen, I moved over, started dealing Texas Hold'em, and gambling addiction is crazy. And something I heard one day was that, my buddy tried to flip it. He's like, no, they're addicted to hope. It's like, no, they're really addicted to losing. Because, like, most people that are doing gambling aren't winners. It's this addiction of, like, I'm losing and I know I'm going to lose. Like, kind of like, we were talking about, you already know that the process, it's going to, planting the seeds, it's going to grow. They already know they're going to lose. They've already proved that with the path that has been built on the extreme losses. But they're okay with that, and they're addicted to it on the fact of, like, I guess, yeah, getting hopes up every time. Addicted to that loss, addicted to hope, addicted to chasing that one-time high. But yeah, I would say, that's one of the hardest things to think about is, like, how does someone just drop, all of their bad thoughts and just turn it into good, which could probably help out a lot of people. There's people committing suicide out there, overdosing, drug addiction, and it's like, if you could just put all that into a positive outlook on, how could I not harm myself today, and create something beautiful and help the people around me instead of being, a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think that could go a long way on, just a better life for everyone. This frequency thing isn't just for me to try and, like, change the world, wake everyone up, which, technically the government does not put it out there of, like, oh, hey, we did some research and this could better your life. I'm not here to try and change the world or create the Abraham Messiah in everyone's brain, but it's like, for myself personally, like, that's something I'm practicing and making sure that, my future is going to be as bright as possible. And like we were talking about, I don't think it, I know it. I know my future is going to be bright, and I know, when tomorrow is going to be my best day yet.
Yeah. Bro, I love it. Thank you so much for coming, man. I appreciate it. This was a great combo. Dr. Moriarty. Got it?
Dr. Moriarty.
I got it, bro. Hell yeah. So if people are listening right now, they want to follow you in your journey, where can they do that at?
I made it really simple. Just go to @Dr. Moriarty. Spotify is Dr. period and then Moriarty. Most people spell it wrong and butcher the name. The biggest thing that's coming out right now is the Dr. Tumex album, though. So it's got Andre Legacy. It's got Equipto, who has worked with one of my favorite artists, Andre Nictina, on most of his project. And then I got Living Legends. I have Sunspot Jones, Scarab, Picasso, and Sunspot Jones, Scarab, Picasso, and Eligh. And I might get Lucky I Am on it right now. I'm talking to his nephew, and he said the only way to get hold of him is email. And and I'm thinking, this guy doesn't have his cell phone or anything like that. You can only reach out to his Outlook or something like that. And then I have production from Rakim and Scott Storch. And you'll see a bunch of those singles landing. I got the new NBA Young Boy single, 69, going out with Ghost Rider. And then make sure, too, to check out True to Cali, the guy who owns Sinister Records, my partner in it. And we've been doing that for about 12 plus years. Every single one of my collaborations are pretty much with him.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd say go check out Dr. Moriarty, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere there's something going on. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah,
it means
hell
the
yeah,
world.
bro. It's been awesome, man. So I'm definitely in your universe now, dude. So I'm looking forward to what you got coming out. Dope, man. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for listening. Once again, this is Downtime with Downstar, and we out. Peace.